Now let's get started with the class, guys. Okay, just give me a minute. Fine. Okay, fine. So in previous class, what we have started with, we'll just be taking a quick revision in 2-3 minutes of entire class, and then we'll be starting with the today's topic. So we have taken up the reports. We finished the reports. So we have covered the adaptation gap report, report on inclusive conservation initiative in the previous class, released by UNEP, released by the GEF and Conservation International. Then we have seen building materials report, which talks about the decarbonization of construction sector, released by UNEP. Then we have seen global trends on land degradation and drought report, released by the UNCCT, that is United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. It talks about achieving the land degradation neutrality. 400 million hectares of land has been lost in the 4 years between 2015 to 19. Then we discussed about the global infrastructure resilience report released by CDRI. Now, this particular report emphasizes on building the resilient infrastructure which can meet with climate change, which can respond to disasters that are going to increase in the times to come. Then after that, we have seen global pathway report. Now, this particular report talks about that it is very much difficult to keep the temperature within 1.5 degrees Celsius range. And for that particular thing, immediate efforts are to be taken, such as tripling the renewable energy. Then we have discussed the imperative of cutting methane. Now, this report says that if we cut down the methane, then temperature rise can be avoided by 0.1 degree Celsius. If we don't cut methane, fine, then 0.1 degree Celsius temperature rise more will happen. So targets have to basically targeted approach in this particular direction should be taken. Then sustainable financing report released by the UNSCAP, which says that Asia Pacific region is not on the path to reach SDR goals. Okay, and also many of the countries, they have not assessed that how much money they need for INDCs. Okay, then after that we have discussed the children displaced in a changing climate report and climate change child report, both released by UNICEF. Here it makes a relation as how children and climate change are related. Then climate equality report, Oxfam, it talks about climate injustice, climate inequity. Fine. Then after that, Paris Agreement synthesis report released by UNFCCC, which talks about that we need to go for deeper emission cuts. Fine. All these things we have discussed. Then guys, after that, we discussed the protected areas. And when we were discussing these protected areas, a lot of associated information we have also taken, which is highly important for your prelims examination specifically. And I expect that you have paid attention on that also. So we discussed Mukurthi National Park in Tamil Nadu. We have discussed that it is a part of a Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, and what all other important protected areas are there in Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, that we have discussed. The tribes that are there, that also we have discussed. Then Simlipal Tiger Reserve, we have discussed the Simlipal Tiger Reserve. Then with respect to tiger, its status, tiger range countries. After that, TX2 award, St. Petersburg Summit, fine, and all such things we have discussed. 55 tiger reserves in India, latest tiger reserves. Okay, then Debrigad Wildlife Sanctuary, Odisha, made free of human settlement. Then Hirakud Reservoir. What are the international bird areas? Status of BNHS. What are the criteria on which it is identified? All that thing. Then Dibru Saikhowa National Park, important aspects we have discussed. Then Hollangpur Gibbon Wildlife Sanctuary in Assam. Then Bua Chapori Wildlife Sanctuary. Then Srivillipathur Mega Mallai Tiger Reserve in Tamil Nadu, which was in news. Then Wildlife Sanctuary of Gujarat, Little Run of Kutch, Angarias, the salt pan workers. Fine. Then Mahadai Wildlife Sanctuary in Goa. The High Court has recommended making this, converting it in tiger reserve. Then Bhoj. After that, Project Elephant, 32 elephant reserves were there. 33rd elephant reserve, which has been notified recently, we have discussed. Then Sundarbans, Mike program, fine, Mike sites in India. Okay, Asola Bhati Wildlife Sanctuary, Haryana. Then Valmiki Tiger Reserve, Pong Wildlife Sanctuary. All these things we have discussed. Then Dandeli also we have discussed. Then in species in news, we discussed with the white, started with white sambar. We have discussed that sambar is not a rare species, but white sambar, it has been recently spotted in Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary. Not first time that it has been spotted in Karnataka. Earlier also it has been spotted in Karnataka. But in Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary, it was spotted first. Then we have discussed the difference between albinism, melanism, and leucism. Okay, and they are the genetic conditions, all that we have discussed. Then after that, we discussed with the leopard sterilization. So leopard related issues with respect to the leopard, their status, fine, all that we have discussed. Then the state of rhino 2023 report. So different types of rhino. Then we have discussed that one type of a rhino recently got functionally extinct. Which rhino got functionally extinct? Northern white rhino. Okay, that we have discussed. Then the status of Indian rhino. Okay, then Indian rhinos in the most numbers are found in Kaziranga, but a highest density is in the Pobitora, that we discussed. After that, we have discussed about the Tasmanian tiger, Australia, of the south of Australia, there is Tasmania, and how different unique creatures are found here. We have discussed three type of mammals here: marsupials, placental mammals, marsupials, and monotremes. We have discussed already here. Then we have discussed about the Tasmanian tiger, which is being believed to be extinct. Then after that, a new species of fish, that is a sea robins, that was found around West Bengal, we discussed. Then we have discussed the Conocarpus plant, which is being banned by the Gujarat. So it is a mangrove plant. Why invasive species thrive that much? Discussed already in the previous class. Then after that, alien species, who gives the status to a alien species, fine, all that also we have discussed already. Then further moving on, then we have discussed about the pangolin. So Manis mysteria, ninth species of pangolin, which might be there. Okay, pangolins, volvation. What is volvation? Pangolins, one of the most trafficked species. Then the status of Indian pangolin, Chinese pangolin. In India, we have both, that is the Indian as well as Chinese pangolin. Then further moving on, great Indian bustard, critically endangered. Fine, state bird of Rajasthan. The state issues and one of a program breeding facility with respect to great Indian bustard also we have discussed. Then further after that, we discuss about the Asiatic lion, and we discuss about its status. Only home of Asiatic lions and wild is Gir National Park in Gujarat. And also we have discussed about the Maldhari tribe, which are referred to as eco warrior tribe. And we discussed some other eco warrior tribes also, which are famous. That is the Maldharis. We discussed One Gujars. We discussed Bishnois. We discussed Apatani tribe. We discussed Ishumidmid tribe. Okay. Then after that, we have discussed about the alligator gar fish, which has become invasive in Dal Lake. Now it is the biggest fish of the gar family. And one very peculiar feature of Dal Lake, that is the Rad's floating gardens, also we have discussed. Then spotted pond turtle, fine, the cases of consuming it in Kaziranga National Park, fine. Then why, what is the difference between turtle and tortoise? Okay, all that we discussed. About brown bear, we discussed why brown bears' wild instincts are getting lost. All that thing we have discussed. Then further moving on, floating gold ambergris, that we discussed. It is found in sperm whale. Status of sperm whale will not be found in all the sperm whales. Okay. Then after that, South Indian cicada. Then now we are going to start with the Gambusia fish. First of all, guys, tell me this particular point, that up till now, is everything clear to you? Any question, any doubt if you have, you may please ask first. Yes, is everything clear? Any question if you have, you may please ask.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Sir, I have a doubt about the difference between keystone species and the indicator species.
Difference between
Keystone species and indicator species.
difference between indicator species and the other one, please repeat again.
Keystone species.
Yes, keystone versus indicator species. Now see this particular thing. Just a minute, guys. Let me, actually, I'm not able to see the chat. Just see, let me check. Chat option. Okay, Pallavi, yes, clear. Okay, fine. So the question was asked by, I think, Megha asked the question, na?
Yes, sir.
See, basically, what is the keystone? See, what does the word keystone means? Okay, so basically, this is any species which will have a huge, disproportionately bigger impact on ecosystem. If you remove this particular species from that ecosystem, that entire ecosystem may collapse. Okay, now often we think that impact of a species on an ecosystem is proportional to its numbers, but keystone species are the ones Fine, the numbers don't matter here. Irrespective of their numbers, they have a larger impact on ecosystem. Means you remove them, entire ecosystem might collapse. Okay, certain predator species, they can be referred to as keystone species. Okay, so they are the keystone. Now, when we talk about indicator species, what is indicator species? Indicator species is any species which indicates resilience, which indicates the health of an ecosystem. For example, in previous class, I have given you example that when we talk about the gangetic dolphin, for example, it is often referred to as indicator species. Means that if gangetic dolphin is there, we can say that the river ecosystem is good, pollution is in controlled limit, quality of water is good, because if higher pollution will be there, they'll not be found there. So any species which indicates the stability of an ecosystem, any species that indicates the health of an ecosystem is referred to as indicator. Keystone species is one which will have a disproportionately bigger impact on ecosystem. Okay. Now, moving on. Yes, dear, is it clear? Now, moving on, guys. Next, we have Gambusia fish. Gambusia fish. Now, Gambusia fish is being released. So basically, guys, Gambusia fish is being used in Andhra Pradesh for mosquito control. For mosquito control. Just a minute. Yes. So Gambusia fish, it is being used for mosquito control in Andhra Pradesh. Now, guys, when we talk about Gambusia fish, this fish happens to be an invasive species in India. This fish happens to be an invasive species in India. And this fish, actually, it is also classified as the worst invasive species. It has been classified as IUCN has declared it as worst invasive alien species in the world. Now, this particular species, okay, this fish, it can consume 100 to 300 larvae of mosquito every day. And therefore, for mosquito control, they are used in many places. But guys, at the same time, when we talk about the WHO, World Health Organization very strictly has warned against using Gambusia fish. They have said that you should not use Gambusia fish for the control of dengue, malaria, etc. Why? Because this particular species, this particular fish has a huge negative impact on the other varieties of fish. Now, basically, when we talk about, guys, Gambusia, already on this question has been asked. Already on Gambusia fish question has been asked in the UPSC examination. Question was very much simple, that which variety of fish is used for mosquito control, and it was Gambusia. Now, when we talk about mosquito control, there is also one more development that I would like to discuss with you. Now, see, World Mosquito Program, what they have come out with? World Mosquito Program, they have come out with the Wolbachia method. Wolbachia method. Now, Wolbachia method has already been used in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. It has been used in the city of Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Now, in fact, guys, UPSC CSE has asked a question also on the Wolbachia method. UPSC CSC prelims last year, there was a question also that was asked on the Wolbachia method. Now, what is this Wolbachia method? Let's discuss that also. So basically, Wolbachia is a bacteria. Wolbachia, what is this? This is a bacteria. Now, guys, when we talk about mosquitoes, some of the mosquitoes, what they do? They carry deadly viruses. For example, we have the case of Aedes aegypti. Now, when we talk about Aedes aegypti is responsible for transmission of many deadly viruses. For example, it transmits the virus for, okay, it transmits Zika virus. It is responsible for transmitting the dengue. It is responsible for transmitting the chikungunya, Aedes aegypti. Okay. Now, understand this thing that basically, if Wolbachia bacteria is infused in Aedes aegypti, if it is infused in Aedes aegypti, then this particular bacteria will inhibit the growth of virus within the mosquito. and it will inhibit, it will reduce the ability of Aedes aegypti to transmit a particular virus in the humans. Now, how Aedes aegypti transmits these deadly viruses? So basically, it will carry a virus, that virus will replicate, and then when that mosquito will bite human, that virus will be replicated, will be transmitted to humans also. Now, Wolbachia bacteria, it is not harmful for humans. It is not harmful for human. So World Mosquito Program, what they have done in Indonesia, basically they have infused these mosquitoes with Wolbachia bacteria, and then they have been released. They will breed with the other mosquitoes, and as they will breed with other mosquitoes, their offsprings, they will also have this Wolbachia bacteria, and this Wolbachia bacteria will inhibit, will reduce their ability to carry the viruses in future. So by this particular way, through Wolbachia method, what is happening? World Mosquito Program, it is controlling the dengue, malaria, or the deadly viral diseases. Now, in this particular capacity, guys, there has also been a question. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Now, in this particular capacity, guys, there has also been a question that has been asked in the UPSC prelims examination. Okay, and I hope that the question is visible to you. Now, please, guys, try to attempt these two questions and try to write your answer in the comment box. Wolbachia method sometimes talked about is with reference to which of the following? Okay. Oh, so option is there. So it is related to controlling the viral disease spread by mosquito. Now, point that I'm trying to make is that, guys, majority of the times UPSC questions, when they make, they give broad options that you will be able to mark the answers. Yes, that is also the fact that sometimes they are giving very hairline kind of options also. But in majority of questions, the options are wide. If you have fair idea, you will be able to identify. There was one more question that was asked in 2017. Okay. In tropical regions, Zika virus disease is transmitted by the same mosquito that transmits dengue. Sexual transmission of Zika virus disease is possible. So we have seen that Aedes aegypti, it transmits the viruses, including the Zika. Also, Aedes aegypti, it transmits the dengue. So statement 1 is right. Sexual transmission of Zika virus is possible. Yes, it is also possible. It was a lot in the news because huge transmissions of Zika viruses happened. So through bodily fluids, it can also spread. So both the statements are correct. Right option is C. Fine. So on this particular line, there are the questions also that were there. Now, moving on, and let's take the next one. Okay. So I hope that it is clear and you have noted it down also. Okay. And then next is Hoolock gibbon. India's only species. Now, guys, we have already discussed about it also in the Hoolock gibbon. Fine. When we were discussing about it. So Hoolock gibbon, it is India's only ape species, lives in a tropical and subtropical forest, and they are distinctly known because of their intelligence, Now, see this particular thing, that when we talk about the Hoolock gibbon, okay, so there are two species of the gibbon. There is Eastern Hoolock gibbon, which is vulnerable on IUCN Red List. And then there is the Western Hoolock gibbon. And Western Hoolock gibbon is endangered as per IUCN Red List. Okay, so there are two distinct varieties of Hoolock gibbon, Eastern Hoolock gibbon and the Western Hoolock gibbon. Is it clear or not? There was one more news also that was coming out that actually they are not distinct, they are one species only, but that thing is to be peer reviewed as of now. Okay, fine. The next, Cheetah reintroduction project. Okay. So recently, guys, there have been so many articles on cheetah reintroduction in news. You might have seen also that thing that every day they are reporting that today cheetah have arrived, today cheetah got fever, today cheetah got loose motions. No need to read all of them every day for your examination. Few things you need to know about this cheetah reintroduction project. If a question will come, that knowledge will suffice. Otherwise, no need to go beyond that. Now see this thing, that when we talk about cheetah reintroduction project, when we talk about it, so first of all, guys, understand, from India, cheetah got extinct in 1950s. From India, cheetah got extinct in 1950s. In India, we used to have Asian cheetah. In India, we used to have Asian cheetah. Now, guys, Asian cheetah is also found in Iran. Right now, Asian cheetah is also found in Iran. And India request the Iran that please give us Asian cheetah. Now, Asian cheetah's status is critically endangered. Asian cheetah status is critically endangered, and we first desired Asian cheetahs from Iran. But Iran, in return, requested for tigers. But that deal did not transpired. So therefore, what happened? We reached to Africa. We reached to Africa, and from Namibia, and South Africa, now we are translocating cheetahs. Now, these cheetahs are African cheetahs. And their status is vulnerable. African cheetahs' status is vulnerable on IUCN Red list. So basically, cheetahs that have been translocated in India are not Asian, they are African cheetah, and African cheetah's status is vulnerable. So if a question comes asking the cheetah's status in India, then the right option is vulnerable. Okay. Now, when we talk about the cheetah translocation project, this is the world's first intercontinental translocation project. Translocation of animal from one country to another country has happened, but intercontinental translocation project, that is from one continent to other continent, has not happened. This is the first one. Okay, this is the first one. Now, who is implementing this particular program? So you can write down here in the side margin. So National Tiger Conservation Authority, NTCA. So if you don't know, then NTCA, though it is responsible for tiger, but it is also involved here. NTCA, Wildlife Institute of India, WII, and Madhya Pradesh government. NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority, Wildlife Institute of India, and Madhya Pradesh government, they are implementing it. And the site that has been chosen for the initial translocation of cheetah, it is Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Which site has been chosen initially? That is the Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Now, basically, cheetahs, they'll be fitted with the radio collars so that they can be tracked. Now, guys, understand this particular thing, that when cheetahs are being brought in India, first they will be placed in a special kind of an enclosure, which was also in news. Why it was in news, I will explain that also. Bomas. Boma. Now, what is this Boma? So, Boma is a kind of an enclosure in which these cheetahs will be placed for a few days. Why? Because, guys, understand this particular thing, that as cheetahs are being brought to India, they have to be quarantined. Maybe they bring some virus or some disease, and maybe they spread that particular disease in the species of India also. So they have to be quarantined, they have to be kept under observation, and also they have to be given time for acclimatization. What is acclimatization? Now the weather, atmospheric condition of Africa and India are different. So they need to adjust with the environment. If they are not able to adjust and if they develop some problem, complication, then they can be attempted if they are being placed in these enclosures. These enclosures are called as bomas. They themselves become problematic. Why they become problematic? Because, guys, as they are being placed in these enclosures for a very long period of time, now they are forgetting their hunting instincts and they are not able to survive in the wild. Many multiple other reasons are also there, that many of these cheetahs have not been able to survive. They are dying. Their cubs, they are also dying. So because of these multiple reasons, the cheetahs have been in the news. Okay. So Kuro National Park, they'll be brought. Fine. These cheetahs will be fitted with the radio collars. These radio collars, fine, they will track and monitor the animals in the wild, will give them information, will give information about their location, about their behavior. All these particular things will be there. Now, when we talk about in the case of India, cheetah was declared extinct in 1952. Okay. African cheetah, Asian cheetah. What is the status of Asian cheetah? Critically endangered. But in India, We did not had we did not have now Asian cheetahs. We got the African cheetahs. What is their status? Vulnerable. Only Iran is having the Asian cheetah, and they also have only less than 100 Asian cheetahs. Okay, now in the Wildlife Protection Act, okay, correct it. It's not Schedule 2, it is Schedule 1. It is Schedule 1, Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, so I hope, guys, that you have understood it. I hope that you have understood it. Now, one thing is that beyond this, no need to go. Then next, tiger orchids. Tiger orchids. So recently, tiger orchids, they were in the news. They are the world's tallest orchid. So, see, they are the world's tallest orchid as per the Guinness Book of World Record, and recently they have been bloomed in Kerala. Recently, they have bloomed in Kerala. So basically, in the Jawaharlal Nehru Botanical Garden in Kerala, they have bloomed. Therefore, it was in news. Now, when we talk about these tiger orchids, so they are found in the countries with tropical and subtropical climate. Tropical climate is the one where they thrive the most. So you'll find them in Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Papua New Guinea. So primary rainforest, freshwater swamp, riverine, tropical forest will be found. Now, this is the tiger orchid. Okay. Then the next is primrose willow. Primrose willow. So basically, guys, primrose willow is in news. Now, primrose willow, it is found in the Western Ghats, particularly in the state of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Both it is found. But for the Tamil Nadu, it was in news. For the case of Tamil Nadu, it was in news. Let me explain what is this issue. Now, when we talk about this primrose willow is again an invasive species. It is an invasive species native to Central and South America. Now they are posing threat to elephant habitats in Tamil Nadu. Now you might wonder that how this beautiful flower, it is posing threat to elephant. Problem is this, that it is an invasive species. So it means that when it is growing in a particular area, it is out competing the other species, other varieties of plants, which are consumed by elephants. And what is happening? Elephants, as they are not able to find the food, they are going in villages, and their man-animal conflicts are happening. Now, the problem is that actually this particular flower, it grows in the water as well. It grows in the water as well. And therefore, heavy machinery cannot be used. The point is that, guys, these invasive species, they grow very fast. If you don't eradicate all of them, then what will happen? Even if few of the plants are remaining, from them, thousands of other plants will again grow. So point is that on land, you can eradicate them, but as they grow in water, wetlands, they grow in backwaters, etc., everywhere, you cannot use heavy machinery there. Okay, and also they're very much delicate. Fine, they break very easily. Okay, so that is a problem. So now they are also introduced as an ornamental species. What is an ornamental species? Any species which is introduced for its beauty, they are called as ornamental species. Fine. So this is the alien species. Now, invasive alien species already we have discussed. Oh, okay. One more thing, guys, that see, there are many other invasive alien species also that are there, which are very important and has become a big nuisance. They have been in news in the last few years, but not was particularly in the news. So please write their name also. Please write their name also. So I'm writing certain names of the invasive species that are also there. Eucalyptus, Lantana camara, fine. Prosopis juliflora, fine. We have Prosopis juliflora. Also, this is also called as the Vilaiti kicker. So it is also more popular by this name. Vilaiti kicker. Then there is one more, that is the Acacia mengium. Acacia mengium. Acacia mengium. So these are other invasive alien species. These are other invasive alien species, fine, which have been in news multiple number of times, not recently, but over the years they have been in the news. Fine, so you should know about them. Eucalyptus, Lantana camara. Now this is the one which is the very big nuisance, that is Lantana camara. Prosopis juliflora, Acacia mengium. Okay, these are some iconic invasive species that we have. Iconic invasive species that we have. Okay, I hope you have written. Moving on. Yes, can we move? Eucalyptus, Lantana camara, Prosopis juliflora, Acacia mengium. Okay. Then Iberian wolf was in news. Iberian wolf was in news. Now see, guys, first of all, when we talk about the species, you need to focus more on Indian species, but actually certain species, though they are not Indian, but they are again very important. Why? Certain species either on the verge of extinction or got extincted, or if they have been reclaimed, you need to see them. Now, when we talk about Iberian wolf, where it is found? It is found in Iberian Peninsula. Now, this is Iberian Peninsula. Okay, so here you have Bay of Biscay. Here in the western side, you have North Atlantic Ocean. Then here you have Strait of Gibraltar. In the south, you have Strait of Gibraltar. You might be knowing Strait of Gibraltar. Now, what is a strait? What is a strait? Strait is simply a narrow body of water that connects to larger water bodies. So guys, here if you see, we have Atlantic Ocean. Here we have Mediterranean Sea. So Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea, they are connected by this narrow strait, which is the Strait of Gibraltar. Strait of Gibraltar. Okay, so Strait of Gibraltar also has been in news, and when we'll see the places in news, we'll cover it also. So now this is the Iberian Peninsula. This is Iberian Peninsula. It contains Spain and Portugal. It contains Spain and Portugal. And here this wolf is found. So therefore it is referred to as Iberian wolf. Iberian wolf. Now it has been extinct. It has been extinct. Okay, since 2020, it has not been spotted, and recently it has been declared extinct from the region. Okay. Okay, from the region of Andalusia, Spain. Okay, then next, Western Tragopan. Western Tragopan. Now, guys, Western Tragopan, basically, again, a very important species this year. Why? Because recently, Himachal Pradesh, they changed their state bird. Earlier, Himachal Pradesh state bird was monal. Earlier, Himachal Pradesh's state bird was monal. But recently, they have changed their state bird to Western Tragopan. Western Tragopan. So it is in news. So they are a type of a pheasant. Pheasant is a variety of birds. Also, they are known as the Jujarana. Jujarana. Fine. So Jujarana or Western Tragopan. Now, why they are called as Jujarana? It is because now Jujarana means the king of birds. So because of their size, because of their beautiful color and the patterns on their wings. Okay, it is also found in the Pakistan, fine, and in the Indian state of and in the Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, we found it. IUCN status is vulnerable. Okay, so Himachal Pradesh's state animal is snow leopard, bird is Western Tragopan, tree is deodar, and the pink rhododendron is their state flower. Himalayan vulture. Himalayan vulture. So guys, Himalayan vulture is in news. Okay, now vultures, when we talk about them, they are often in the news because of their declining population. Now, first of all, when we talk about vulture, in past, UPSC has asked the question on vulture, but will not limit with ourselves with the Himalayan vulture. Other varieties of vulture also, we are going to see that we find in India. Now you see this particular thing that when we talk about in India, we have 9 types of vulture that are found. So I just want you that here on the side, here in the side, wherever it is possible, you write the species of vulture that is found in India. Species of vulture that is found in India. So first we have Oriental white-backed vulture. Oriental white backed vulture. Okay, oriental white backed vulture. Then we have slender billed vulture. Slender billed vulture. Then we have long billed vulture. Long billed vulture. Then we have red headed vulture. Then we have red headed vulture. Okay. Now, when we talk about these vultures, uh, all of these, their status is critically endangered. What is their status? Their status, all of them, status is critically endangered. All of their status is critically endangered. So in India, we have 9 different types of vultures that are found, but out of 9, these 4, their status is critically endangered. Okay, I hope you have written it. Then moving on to the next. Then moving on to the next. After that, we have Egyptian vulture. Okay. Then we have the Egyptian vulture. Okay, Egyptian vulture. Now, status of Egyptian vulture is endangered. Status of Egyptian vulture is endangered. Okay, we got total 5. Status of Egyptian vulture is endangered. Then after that, we have the other varieties of vulture. Remaining 4, their status is least concerned. Their status is least concerned. Now, who are the least concerned? Who are the least concerned? Okay, I'll write it on the fresh page so that you don't find a problem. Okay. Now, we have the least concerned one, that is the we have the least concern, that is the Indian Griffon. Indian Griffon. What is the status? Indian Griffon status is least concerned. Least concerned, Indian Griffon. Fine. Then we have the varieties of vulture. Indian Griffon is least concerned. Then we have a variety of vulture which are the near threatened. Near threatened. And in near threatened, how many we have? We have 3 in near threatened. Okay. Himalayan Griffon, cinereous and bearded vulture. Himalayan Griffon, cinereous and bearded vulture. Bearded vulture. They are near threatened. They are near threatened. They are near threatened. Okay. Guys, vulture question has been asked in UPSC earlier also, and vulture are very important. Why? Because see this particular thing, that when we talk about the vulture are the nature's scavengers. Vultures are nature's scavengers. Fine, they eat the dead carcasses of animal, and by that they keep environment clean. Otherwise, there will be the loss of pathogen related infections that will spread. And over the years, we find this particular thing, that there is a 96% decline in the population of vulture that happened between 93 to 2003. So between 1993 to 2003, 96% population of the vulture, it got declined. So therefore, very, very important. Now, why they have got declined? Why they have got declined? One very big reason is the usage of diclofenac. Usage of diclofenac medicine. Now, diclofenac, it is a painkiller used by humans also, but many a number of times diclofenac is used in cattle. But when those cattle die, this diclofenac, it is consumed by these vultures when they eat the dead carcasses. And because of that, what happened? They develop complications and they die. 96% population decline between 93 to 2003. Now, basically, multiple programs have been started for the recovery of vulture. Fine, multiple programs have been started for the recovery of vulture, but still, their population is a big concern. Their population is a big concern. Fine. Yes, everyone, is it clear or not? So we have 9 types of vulture that are found in India. Okay, all of their names and the status we have already discussed. Their name and status we have already discussed. Now, recently in the news, Himalayan vulture was there. Recently, Himalayan vulture was in news. Now, what is the status of Himalayan vulture? Himalayan vulture is near threatened. Okay, if you remember, I gave you the name Himalayan griffin. Himalayan griffin vulture, they are the same. Himalayan griffin and vulture are the same. What is status? Near threatened. So, Vulture Conservation Breeding Center has been launched. Also, there is Vulture Action Plan 2020-25. There is also Vulture Action Plan 2020-2025. There is Vulture Action Plan 2020-2025 also that has been started by the government for the recovery of vultures. For the recovery of vultures. Okay. Fine. So they are the one of the largest old world vulture species. Fine. Largest vulture. Fine. So all that we have seen. Threats, habitat loss, food scarcity. Now this will be common. It will be there for everyone. Accidental poisoning from veterinary drugs, ketoprofen, aclofenac. Now see, diclofenac already government has used that it is banned. Already diclofenac government has banned. Majority of vultures in India, they have died because of the diclofenac. It has been banned. It is being used illegally still. It is being used illegally still. However, alternatives, that is the ketoprofen, aclofenac that has been used, they are also leading to the problems. But the biggest damage that happened, it is because of the diclofenac. Okay, we have discussed here that how through diclofenac they consume it and how through biomagnification that gets accumulate in them and they are dying. Then World Elephant Day was celebrated on August 12th. So elephant. Now, first of all, when we talk about the elephant so what is the status of IUCN status of elephant? So IUCN status of elephant is endangered on IUCN red list. Okay, one thing just I want to say that here actually a little bit of an editing issue is there. So the pattern it got disturbed. So the status of elephant, please write it. Status of elephant, it is endangered. Status of elephant is endangered. Already we have discussed that for conservation of elephant, we have already come out with the project elephant. We have already come out with the project elephant in 1992. And under project elephant, 32 elephant reserves were developed initially, but recently there is a 33rd elephant reserve that has also been made, that is in Terai. That is in Terai. So today, how many elephant reserves we have? We have 33 elephant reserves in India. Now here, if you just focus on this particular photograph, all the elephant reserves that we have in India, it has been given. Okay, now the latest elephant reserve that we have, it is the Terai Elephant Reserve. Terai Elephant Reserve. In which state it is? Fine. Terai Elephant Reserve. In which state? It is in Uttar Pradesh. It is in Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Now, we say this thing, if you remember, recently one of our student asked the keystone species. So when we talk about the elephant, elephants are referred to as a keystone species. Why? Because they balance the forest ecosystem. Because they balance the forest ecosystem. Fine. Okay. Fine. Then, okay. And when we talk about the African and Indian, when we talk about the African versus Indian elephants, so in Africa, we have two types of elephant, that is African savanna elephant and African forest elephant. African savanna elephant status is injured. African savanna elephant status is endangered. African forest elephant status is critically endangered. And Asian elephant, fine, Asian elephant that we find in India, status is endangered again. Status is endangered. Indian flying fox bat. Indian flying fox bat. Now, Indian flying fox bat was in news because of the Nipah outbreak that happened recently in Kerala. Now, Nipah outbreak, it is related with the flying fox bat. Now, first of all, one small concept, guys, will be discussing here. See this particular thing, that when we talk about the viruses need a host. Viruses need a host. Okay. because they can replicate when they are in a host itself. First of all, when we talk about the status of virus, so it is neither referred to as living nor it is dead. It becomes living, replicates when it is in a host, but when it is not in a host, it is outside a host, it does not replicates, and then it looks like that it is not living. So viruses, they need a host to replicate. Now, there are two type of hosts when we talk about the viruses. One are natural host, one are natural host, and other are accidental host. Other are accidental hosts. Now, natural hosts are the one which carry the viruses, but viruses don't harm them. Either they have developed immunities against those particular viruses, or they have adapted their physiology with respect to those viruses. Okay. Then accidental hosts are the one which are not natural, and if virus will travel to that accidental host, it will replicate and it will harm that accidental host. For example, humans are accidental host of SARS-CoV-2 virus. So if anybody gets infected with the SARS-CoV-2 virus, that virus will replicate, then it will impact that particular person's health. But the human is carrying it, he is an accidental host. Now, when we talk about the flying fox bat, when we talk about the flying fox fruit bat, it is a natural host of many viruses, including the Nipah virus. Including Nipah virus. First thing is that why it is called as flying fox bat. Why it is called as flying fox bat? It is because of its peculiar face, which looks like a fox. Its face looks like a fox. Therefore, it is called as the flying fox bat. Sometimes it is also called as the flying fox fruit bat. Okay. And how the humans get impacted by that? So basically, it contains Nipah virus, it carries Nipah virus, and sometimes what it does, it bites fruits. It bites fruits and other food crops that are consumed by the human. So it will bite a fruit. As it will bite a fruit, it will transmit Nipah virus to that fruit. And when that particular fruit will be consumed by a human, so that particular virus will get transmitted to that human. It will replicate in that body of the human. And then after it replicates in sufficient numbers, then it will make that particular person diseased. It will make that particular person ill. Okay. So when we talk about these flying fox bats, okay, males are larger than the females. Males are larger than female. And where they are found? They are found in the tropical regions of South and Central Asia. South and the Central Asia. In forests, in swamps, they'll be found. Okay. Now they are considered as vermin. They are considered as vermin. So basically, Wildlife Protection Act, Schedule 5. Okay. It explains what the vermins are. Now, one thing. Here it is written considered as vermin. Okay, not it is vermin. Vermin are explained in Schedule 5. It is considered as vermin by the people. Now, what is a vermin? Vermin is any species which is a nuisance. Vermin is any species which is a nuisance to agriculture, which is a nuisance to humans. And therefore, they can be culled, they can be killed, they can be eliminated. They are vermin. If any species name is written in the Schedule 5, which explains the vermin, it means that particular animal species can be culled. Can be culled means they can be eliminated, they can be killed. Okay. Now, when we talk about Nipah virus, so Nipah virus was originated. So Nipah virus, it was identified in the Nipah virus outbreak in Malaysia and Singapore, and the farmers of Malaysia and Singapore reported the Nipah virus for the first time in 98 and 99. So natural host of Nipah virus are the fruit bats, flying fox bat, they are the natural host. Okay, and when we talk about the Nipah virus symptoms are fever, headache, dizziness, drowsiness, mental confusion, all such things. Okay, moving on. Next we have here is the rare black eagle. Rare black eagle. So recently, for the first time, rare black eagle was seen in Chail Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, Chail Wildlife Sanctuary, where it is situated? It is situated in Himachal Pradesh. It is situated on Himachal Pradesh. Now, what is IUCN status? IUCN status is least concern, and because of its thick black color, because of its huge size, it is very attractive. It is basically It looks very appealing. Fine. Now, Chel Wildlife Sanctuary, where located? Himachal Pradesh. Now, flora and fauna. So, what type of forest and vegetations you'll find here? So, as it is in Himachal Pradesh, you'll find there will be two things. High altitude will be there. There will be high altitude and the temperatures will be less. Okay, snowfall will be there. So, type of plants that you'll find oak, pine, deodar trees. Fine. And fauna. So, Himalayan black bear, leopard, barking deer. Fine. Then red sand boa. Red sand boa. So red sand boa, it was in news because its usage. Now see what has happened. There is a lot of usage of this particular snake in black magic. In black magic, this particular snake is used a lot, and because of that particular thing, there were the reports with respect to the threat that this particular snake is facing. Now this particular snake, it looks as a double-headed snake. It looks like a double-headed snake. How double-headed snake? So if you see the mouth as well as a tail, it appears as the same. So mouth as well as tail, physical appearance is same. And because of that, sometimes it is also called as a double-headed, not having two heads, but this also looks like a head. Fine. Now it is a non-venomous snake. It is a non-venomous snake. Okay, and it is nocturnal in nature. Nocturnal in nature means it is active during the night. And where it is found? It is found in the whole India except excluding Northeast, North Bengal states. What is IUCN status? Near threatened. Near threatened. Okay, fine. Yes, guys, is it clear to everyone? Any question, any doubt if you have, please ask. Yes, is it clear to everyone? Now moving on. Armageddon Reedtail. Armageddon Reedtail. So Armageddon Reedtail, what it is? It is a variety or it is a species, it is a type of a damselfly. See, when we talk about the insects, there are many different families of insects. For example, if you remember, there were the cicadas that we have discussed. There are the dragonflies that are there. Then there are the damselfly. Damselfly is a species. It is a type of an insect. Now there is a type of a damselfly, a species in the type of a damselfly that has been recently found, and it has been given a very peculiar, very unique kind of a name. What name has been given? It has been given the name that is the Armageddon Reedtail. Armageddon Reedtail. Now, what is Armageddon? Armageddon refers to a decisive battle. It refers to a decisive battle. Okay, it refers to a decisive battle. Now, it has been called as the Armageddon Reedtail. It is being referred to as ecological Armageddon. Now, see this thing. Around the world, insects population is going down. And insects play a very important role in the ecological food web and ecological food chain. And if population of insects will go down, then it will be a very big crisis it will be a huge crisis for ecological food chain and ecological food web. Just if I give you a reference, then the inventor of polio vaccine, Jonas Salk, once upon a time, he said this particular thing, that if bees, okay, bees, honeybee, if they get vanished from this earth, within 40 years, the entire earth will collapse. Within 40 years, entire earth will collapse. However, if humans vanished, within next 40 to 50 years, the entire earth will come back to its glory. Fine. Every species play an important role. Bees, insects, they play even a bigger role. Bees play an important role in pollination. So these insects play a very big ecological role, but the population of the insects is going down. So to bring the attention, towards the declining population of the insects, it has been named as Armageddon Reedtail. So a newly discovered species of damselfly, it has been named as an Armageddon Reedtail. Why? To bring attention of the world towards the ecological crisis because of the habitat loss and climate change, due to which insects are going down. Fine. Now, damselflies are they have basically they are called as the zygoptera. They have two pair of wings. Okay. Beyond that, no need to go. Beyond that, they no need to go. Then platypus. Platypus was in news. Why? Because recently the environmental DNA, eDNA studies of platypus was done. Now, if you remember in previous class, I mentioned about the three type of mammals, that is placental mammals. I discussed with you marsupials, and I discussed with you monotremes. I discussed with you monotremes. Now, what monotremes are? I discussed you that monotremes are the egg-laying mammals. Monotremes are egg-laying mammals. So platypus, this is an example of monotreme. This is an example of monotreme. It is an egg-laying mammal. Now, this mammal, where it is found? Now, see these. I told you also that in previous class that see Australia, Tasmania, it contains certain unique creatures which are not found anywhere in the world. For example, kangaroos, marsupials, Tasmanian devil, find Tasmanian tiger. So basically, these platypus also, which are the monotremes, egg-laying mammals, they are unique to Australia. They have webbed feet like this. They have webbed feet, okay? Webbed feet, flat tail, and covered with the waterproof fur. Waterproof fur, okay? Now, what happened recently? Environmental DNA studies was done. Environmental DNA study was done with respect to these platypus. And through this environmental study, it has been found that their population is alarmingly going down. It is alarmingly going down. The population is going down. Okay. Now, one thing, guys, you need to understand is that, first of all, what is this eDNA? What is eDNA? Now, basically, what happens? All the time, the creatures are releasing their DNA in the nature. For example, they shed their fur, they through fur, through their feces, okay, through their bodily fluids. We all the time. Now, for example, if I just want to know a DNA of a person, I can say, I can take the sample of the saliva of a person. I can just take the sample of a what you say, nail of a person, and I can get that particular person's DNA mapped out. So what is eDNA? Environmental DNA is the one which is released in environment. And what are the sources? Sources are the feces, mucus, gametes, skin, hair that they are shedding. Okay. Now in aquatic environment, this eDNA, okay, it lasts for 7 to 21 days. But if this eDNA is released in the if it is released in the open, not in water, then it can survive for much longer. And through this eDNA studies, it has been ascertained that their populations are going down. Through this eDNA, it has been ascertained that their population is drastically going down. Okay. Now, when we talk about the IUCN status, what is IUCN status? IUCN status is near threatened. IUCN status is near threatened. Moving on. Ganges River Dolphin, tiger of Ganges. Ganges River Dolphin, tiger of Ganges. Now, before going in this particular topic, I just want to discuss one other topic, and then I'll come back here. You see this particular thing. Basically, Ganges dolphin is a river dolphin. Around the world, there is a huge decline in the population of river dolphins that has happened. And if you see, since 1980, river dolphins population has been declined by 73%. River dolphins population has declined by 73% since 1980s. So therefore, it is very much important that we preserve dolphins and we take the dedicated call of action for protection of dolphin. And on this particular direction, global declaration for river dolphin has been signed. Global declaration for river dolphin has been signed. Now, this particular global declaration has been signed where? It is signed in Bogota. Bogota is in Colombia. Colombia is in South America. So in Bogota, which is a city in Colombia, Colombia is in South America, this global declaration on river dolphin has been signed. And in this particular declaration, focus will be given on 6 surviving species of river dolphin. So right now we have only 6 species of river dolphin in the world, and out of this 6 species, gangetic dolphin is one of our river dolphin. Okay, we have the species of dolphin which are the aquatic marine dolphins which are found in sea oceans, but river dolphins we have only 6 types. Now, first of all, which countries have signed this global declaration on river dolphin? You need to see that So the countries that have signed it is Bangladesh, Bolivia, Brazil, Cambodia, Colombia, Ecuador, India, Nepal, Pakistan, Peru, and Venezuela. So is India a part? Yes, India is a part. Fine. So is India a part? Yes, India is a part. Okay. Now, basically, we have discussed that 6 river dolphins will be protected. Which six river dolphins are they included? Okay. Amazon river dolphin, Ganga river dolphin, Indus river dolphin, Irrawaddy river dolphin, Tucuxi, Yangtze finless porpoise. Yangtze finless porpoise. Now, Chinese river dolphin is extinct. Chinese river dolphin is extinct way back in 2007. Now, see, Yangtze finless porpoise. See, porpoise and dolphin are two different. Okay. Now, basically, guys, when we talk about porpoise look like dolphin. Porpoise look like dolphin, but they are different. Difference is there in terms of the shape of their teeth. In terms of the shape of their teeth, difference is there in terms of the. Now you see there is a stout. There is a stout. Fine. So in the shape of the teeth, stout, etc., there is a difference. Fine. So you see that dolphins as well as the porpoise, they have a difference here. For example, yes. So when we talk about the dolphin, they are large in size. Porpoise are relatively small in size. Large, small. Then also, if you talk about, they have this particular pointed kind of a beak. This pointed kind of a beak. They have flat. They have flat. Okay. Basically, if we talk about their teeth, so basically they have the conical teeth like this. Their teeth are more flat like this. Okay. So porpoise and dolphins are separate, but in this global declaration on dolphin that we have signed, that India has signed, here this Yangtze finless porpoise is also included. Okay, Yangtze finless porpoise is also included. So you need to keep it in mind. Now, when we talk about their status, what is the status? IUCN status? Yangtze finless porpoise, critically endangered. Critically endangered. Amazon, Ganga, Indus, Irrawaddy, Tucuxi, their status is endangered. Their status is endangered. And this Yangtze finless porpoise is world's only freshwater porpoise. It is only freshwater porpoise that we have. Other porpoises are marine. They live in ocean or the sea. This is the only freshwater porpoise. Fine, and it has also been included. Okay. And Amazon dolphin is the largest. Amazon dolphin is the largest. First of all, tell me, is this particular point clear to everyone? Yes or no? Are these particular things clear to you? Yes or no? Please tell this particular thing. Just 1 second and write clear or not clear. Yes or no? Clear or not clear? Okay, fine. And I can see there was one question also. eDNA, explain again. Dear, what is eDNA? E stands for environmental DNA. What is DNA? DNA is simply the blueprint of your body. What is eDNA? eDNA is that type of a DNA that we release in environment on regular basis. For example, human, they spit feces, that is excreta. So when excreta is when a person disposes or emits excreta through their saliva, through their blood, through their hair, fur, nails, fine, DNA is released. So that type of DNA, it is called as environmental DNA. So platypus, their status has been ascertained by doing the environmental DNA studies. Okay, so I hope that this particular point is clear. Now we'll come to the Ganga river dolphin. Ganga river dolphin. So Ganga river dolphin is, I told you, it is one of a out of 6 surviving river dolphins. One is Ganga river dolphin. Now it is found in Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna, Karnfuli, Sangu river system in India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. In India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. In this river system, it is found. And the tributaries, that is Ghagra, Kosi, Gandak, Chambal, Roop Narayan, Yamuna, they'll find in their tributaries also. They live only in fresh water, and the moment pollution will go above a particular level, their population will vanish from there. It is therefore an indicator species. Indicator species. These species, they are virtual, they are almost blind. They are almost blind. So how they find their way? They find their way by ultrasonic sounds. So they release ultrasonic sounds, and the time that it takes for ultrasonic sound to come back, they can ascertain that there is an obstacle. So ultrasonic sound is emitted. If it comes back quickly, it means there is some obstacle, and they'll maneuver. They'll maneuver. Okay. Now basically mother and calf travel together. They can be found alone. They can be found together also. Also, guys, they cannot. They can basically see from time to time they have to come to surface to take the. They have to come to surface to breathe. So every 30 to 120 seconds, they'll be coming on the surface to breathe. And because when they breathe, they make a peculiar sound. By that, they are called as susu. So they called as susu because of the breathing sound that they make when they breathe. They called as susu because of the breathing sound they are going to make when they breathe. Okay, and it is also the national aquatic animal of India, and Assam has declared it is a state aquatic animal. Now, IUCN status already we have discussed, endangered. Fine. IUCN status we have discussed, endangered already. Fine. Some projects. Project Dolphin, Vikramshila Ganga Dolphin Sanctuary, National Ganga River Dolphin Day, celebrated on 5th of October. Okay. So this is about all these particular important aspects. So these two things are correlated. Now, why it was in news? Because of this global declaration for river dolphins that has been signed. Global declaration for river dolphin that has been signed. Fine. Moving on. Next, tiger, we have already discussed about the tiger. Everything we have discussed: tiger range country, St. Petersburg Declaration, tiger reserves in India, status of tiger population, all that we have discussed. So the same things are there. The other varieties of tiger also: Bengal tiger found in India, Caspian tiger, Turkey, Amur tiger, regions of Russia, China, Javan tiger, Java Island. Okay, so that is not that much important. The tigers found in India, the Bengal tiger, fine, that is important. And for that, already we have discussed yesterday when I was discussing with you the Simlipal Tiger Reserve. Then P. selinarium. P. selinarium. Okay. So basically, if you remember, question was asked last to last year on Gucci mushroom. Fine, Gucci mushroom. Okay. So P. selinarium. Now, what is P. selinarium? It is a kind of a green algae, and it was in news, and it survives in the harsh saline alkaline conditions. Okay. Now, it can also survive in the hyperosmotic condition. What is hyperosmotic condition? Fine, where the environment has higher concentration of salt compared to the internal environment. Okay. Then Ladakh sea buckthorn. Ladakh sea buckthorn, it got GI tag. Now, Ladakh sea buckthorn, it is the wonder plant of Ladakh. It is wonder plant of Ladakh, and it is actually very, very important species of plant for Ladakh. See, it is called as wonder plant, called as Ladakh gold, golden bush, gold mine. Now, this is a kind of a berry. Fine. What this Ladakh buckthorn, it is a kind of a berry. It is a kind of a berry, and it is found in Ladakh. It is found in Ladakh. 90% of the production, 90% of the production of this buckthorn comes from Ladakh, and it is highly rich in antioxidants as well as very high vitamin C. It has high vitamin C, have high antioxidants, and it is found above the tree line of Himalayan region. So above the tree line, fine, means in high altitude it is found, and largely it is found in the cold deserts of Ladakh and Spiti. Now, number one, it has high nutritional content. I told you high vitamin C and high antioxidant qualities. But at the same time, guys, you know this thing that vegetation does not thrives above, a lot of vegetation does not thrive in high altitude. So therefore, they prevent soil erosion there by binding the soil together. They prevent soil erosion by binding the soil together. And it is also a very hardy kind of a crop. It is also a very hardy kind of crop. Okay. Next, Onatukara sisemi. Onatukara sisemi. Okay. Now this is a Onatukara sisemi. Fine. It is grown in Kerala. Also has high antioxidants, which is needed by the body. Fine, important for heart patients. Fine. Now see, when we talk about the fat, there are two types of fat. One are the good fat, one are the bad fats. Okay. So basically, getting ample amounts of good fat is very good for cardiovascular health. And it has the high content of unsaturated fat, which is a good fat. Okay. And traditionally also, they have been used to treat rheumatism. Fine. And is also used for the skin protection. Fine. Rheumatism, it is a condition which impacts the joints, tendons, ligaments. Okay. Then ghole fish. So recently Gujarat has declared ghole fish as their state fish. And this ghole fish is also called as it is also equated with the sea gold. Why? Because it has a high value. This fish is actually very expensive. So it is called as sea gold. High market value. It is sold between 5,000 to 15,000 rupees per kilogram. And it has been declared as Gujarat's state fish. Now, where it is found? Across the Gujarat, Persian Gulf, Pacific Ocean, Arabian Sea, Gulf of Kambat. Okay, all this particular region it is found. Now, its meat, it is consumed locally, but a lot of demand of this particular fish's meat is in European market. So therefore, it is a important item that is exported. Now, it prevents aging. Wrinkles, omega-3, fine, improves the IQ in the infants. Okay, and IUCN status is near threatened. Moving on. Fine. Mithema separata, ear head cutting caterpillar. Fine, what it is a kind of a pest that feeds on leaves. Okay, and it is very damaging for paddy cultivation. And in Assam, it has destroyed a lot of crops. Fine, no need to, however, go too much in detail. Then we have a kiwi bird. Okay, so kiwis were in news. So it is a flightless bird endemic to New Zealand. So I told you that this particular area has very unique kind of creatures. Kiwi bird. Now, basically, kiwi eggs are one of the largest in proportion to their body size. Okay, IUCN status is vulnerable. But guys, no need. If you want, you can skip it also. Just basic information. Kiwi bird, flightless, found in New Zealand. IUCN status is vulnerable and has the biggest proportion of eggs compared to the body size. Then Saiga antelope. Now this is important, though it is found outside India, but this is important. Why? Because recently Saiga antelope's status has been changed. IUCN status has been changed. First of all, when we talk about this Saiga antelope, okay, you find that they have a peculiar kind of a nose. They have a very peculiar kind of a nose, which looks like that it is simply hanging. They have a kind of a hanging kind of a nose. Now, this Saiga antelope, it is found around the region of Central Asia. So largely where Central Asia and southern part of Russia. So it is found in Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Russia, Turkmenistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. Fine. Now, they have unusual hanging nose that we have discussed. And what was the threat that they were facing? Poaching for meat and their horn. Now, wherever any animal's horn, teeth, etc. are being taken, probably it will have the usage in Chinese medication. Also, their horns are being used in the Chinese medication. Now, important thing is that its IUCN status has been changed. So it has been changed from critically endangered to near threatened. Status got changed from critically endangered to near threatened, which is an improvement, which is an improvement. So therefore, it is important because rarely the statuses are revised for better. Hmm? Rarely the statuses are revised for better. Then bonnet macaque, bonnet macaque carcass was found in Karnataka. Fine. So bonnet macaque. So they have large ears, wrinkly face, gray in color, grayish in color, and IUCN status is vulnerable. Where you found them in large numbers? In peninsular India. Then named of a flying squirrel. Named of a flying squirrel. Now, named of a flying squirrel, I'm pretty sure that you might have heard their name at least once. Fine. Now, there is controversy going on with respect to named of a flying squirrel. First of all, when we talk about this named of a flying squirrel, name comes from the Named of a National Park, Arunachal Pradesh. Now, up till now, there was an article that came in a Hindu newspaper a couple of months back. Now, you see this thing. Up till now, only once, this Named of a flying squirrel was seen in the Named of a National Park in Arunachal Pradesh. After that, it has not been cited. And many years have happened that it has not been cited. So therefore, researchers now they are coming with this particular theory that is it really some separate species of named of a flying squirrel, or we have seen the flying fox, flying squirrel. Fine. Is there some separate species of by the name of named of a flying squirrel? Is it there or not? Fine. So therefore, this controversy is right now going on. Anyhow, named of a flying squirrel. As of now, the information that we have about it, we don't know whether it is really there or it is just a fictitious creature. But as of now, the information that we have, it is a nocturnal flying squirrel, means active during the night. Fine, found in only in the Namdapha National Park. Okay, and the status is critically endangered. Critically endangered. Okay. Moving on, Namdapha National Park, from where it gets its name? It gets its names from river. That is the Dafa Bum. Dafa is the name of the hill. Bum means the peak of a hill. Then black tiger, melanistic tiger. Already we have discussed about the melanism. What is melanism? Melanism is a condition when the skin produces excessive melanin. And if you remember yesterday when we discussed the Simlipal Tiger Reserve in Odisha, there we have discussed that to protect the melanistic tigers in Simlipal Tiger Reserve in Odisha, armed personnel have been stationed. So black tigers, where they are found? Exclusively found in Simlipal Tiger Reserve, Odisha. This we have discussed already yesterday. Why they are having this? Now, if you see here, you'll find that they have exceptionally black color patches on their body. They have this exceptionally black color patches on their body. Why? Because of the excessive production of melanin. Now, we have discussed that. Okay. And then we have the Pentoi tegroi. Pentoi tegroi. So recently what has happened, a new species of bacteria has been named after Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. Okay. Now, a new species of bacteria has been discovered by Vishwa Bharati University, and this species of bacteria has been named after Rabindranath Tagore. That is the Pentoi tegroi. Okay, so so you do also such great thing that some years later bacteria will also be named after you. This is a good bacteria, plant growth promoting bacteria. Okay, now this is the plant growth promoting bacteria, which is the friend of the friends of the farmers, which can enhance the food security of India, which can enhance the agricultural production. Okay, it can boost cultivation of paddy, pea, chili. Okay, but it can efficiently extract potassium from soil. It can extract potassium from soil, and can stabilize the other nutrients, that is the phosphorus, nitrogen fixation can be done. Okay, so this is about it. Fine. Yes, guys, any question, any doubt if you have here, you may please ask. Yes, any doubt if you have, you may please ask. Okay, now guys, what we are going to do, we will be just be taking 1 to 2 minute time, 2 minutes of time. Please go through all the species that we have discussed, starting from the top till this bottom. I might be asking you few questions orally, okay, and try to answer them correctly. Okay, fine. Please go through these species. The purpose is twofold. One is to ensure your revision, and second, to ensure that you don't have any doubt. In case if you have any doubt, you can rectify it. So please go through this. Yes, guys. Please ask if there is any question, any doubt. Yes, any question, any doubt if you have, please ask. Any question, any doubt, anyone? Please ask if you have any question, any doubt, any issue. Okay, so just we'll take 2 minutes of 1 or 2 minutes of revision. Quick revision will take. Random questions I'm going to ask, and please try that you reply here. Please try that you reply here. Okay. So albinism is a condition when there is excessive production of melanin. True or false? Albinism is condition when there is excessive production of melanin. True or false? T or F? Normally just T or F you can write. Yes, yes, everyone, guys. Some of the students are not writing. Fine, don't be lazy. So it is false. Albinism, it is a condition with respect to the partial loss of pigments. Okay, moving on, guys. After that, okay. In small cat, cheetah is included. True or false? Sorry, I said small cat, big cats. Sorry, big cat. In big cat, cheetah is included. True or false? False. Cheetah is not included. Big cat, cheetah is not included. What is included in big cat? In big cat, we have tiger, lion, jaguar, leopard, snow leopard. Okay, fine. Leopard is the smallest big cat. True or false? Leopard is the smallest big cat. True or false? It is true. It is true. Fine. Now, we have in India, the highest density of one horn rhino is found in Kaziranga National Park. True or false? True or false? Think carefully. Again, I'll repeat. Highest density of one horn rhino in India is found in Kaziranga National Park. Yes, everyone. No, it is not true. It is false. Density wise, Pobitora has the highest density, but in number wise, Kaziranga has the highest number. Okay, one more quickly. One horn rhino is the smallest of all the rhinos. True or false? One horn rhino is smallest of all the rhinos. True or false? Yes, yes, everyone, quickly, quickly. Now we are going to be very quick. False, false, false. It is the biggest. Fine. Now, recently, one of a rhino got declared functionally extinct. This rhino is the black rhino. True or false? Black rhino. True or false? False. It is the white rhino. Northern white rhino. Okay. Then one more. Marsupials are the only type of mammals which lay eggs. True or false? Marsupials are the only mammals which lay egg. True or false? False. False. Okay. Tasmanian tiger was exclusively found in Australia. Was exclusively found in Australia. It was found in both Australia and Tasmania. Australia and Tasmania, not exclusive to Australia. That you should not get confused. Okay, fine. Recently, Conocarpus plants were in news. These are the native varieties of mangrove trees known for their carbon sequestration. True or false? False. False. Everything is right except native. They are not native, they are invasive. Okay, fine. Recently, pangolins are in news. Pangolins were in news. In India, we don't have pangolins. True or false? In India, we don't have pangolins. True or false? False. We have pangolins in India. Okay, fine. One more question. Sexual dimorphism refers to the tendency where males and females will look similar. Will look similar. Will look similar. No, false. They look dissimilar. Okay, fine. Recently, alligator garfish was in news. This fish cannot tolerate extreme temperatures. This fish cannot tolerate extreme temperatures. True or false? False. This fish is eurohaline in nature. True or false? Eurohaline in nature. True or false? True. Very good. Eurohaline are the ones which tolerate very narrow range of salinity. True or false? Very narrow range of salinity. True or false? False means wide range of salinity. Okay. Crepuscular species are the ones which are most inactive during twilight. True or false? Most inactive during twilight. True or false? False. They are active. They are active. Okay. Moving on. Recently, recently floating gold or ambergris was in news. It is produced by almost every sperm whale. It is produced almost by every sperm whale. True or false? False. Sperm whales have IUCN status of critically endangered. True or false? Sperm whale status critically endangered. True or false? False. That is, they have vulnerable. Vulnerable. Okay. Gambusia fish was recently news. These fish are used for control of mosquito. True or false? Control of mosquito. True or false? True. Wolbachia method that was in news, it is used for agricultural production. True or false? False. WHO recommends using Gambusia fish for dengue control. True or malaria control, sorry. Malaria control. True or false? False. It does not recommends. It does not recommends. In India, cheetah reintroduction plan is being implemented by NTCA, true or false? NTCA, true or false? True. Fine. Multiple. Now, question does not say only NTCA. It says NTCA. Yes, NTCA is one of that. Fine. Okay. Recently, this state declared their bird as Western Tragopan. Name the state. Name the state. Name which state? Himachal Pradesh. Very good. Himachal Pradesh. Very good. Okay. Fine. Global declaration of River Dolphin was recently in news. Fine. India is not a signatory. True or false? India is not a signatory. True or false? False. India is a signatory. Fine. Okay. Ladakh Sea Buckthorn was recently in news. It is also referred to as a gold mine because of its high vitamin C content. Right. Recently, ghole fish was declared as a state fish by Haryana. Recently, Saiga antelope was in news because its status got revised from near threatened to critically endangered. False, rather opposite. Critically endangered to near threatened. Okay. So guys, one very good thing, and I'm really happy, is with the fact that most of you are answering, and the good news is that you are answering right. You are answering right. So this shows that most of the content you have retained till now. Only one thing I will advise. Only one thing I will advise now, that already so much of content you are able to retain. In totality, guys, by the time these classes will be over, more than 500 topics we would have completed. More than 500 topics we would have completed, which will take care of your current affairs for upcoming examination. Only thing is that please be diligently present in the class and ensure that you are revising. Now, there are very few days that are there. So please ensure that you are revising also simultaneously. Moving on. Moving on to the next theme, that is pollution. Okay. Now, before moving on, few things you need to know first. Basically, guys, see, this is pollution and renewable alternative energies. Pollution and alternative energies, both topics are integrated here. There is National E-Mobility Mission Plan. There is National E-Mobility Mission Plan 2020 that we have. First of all, guys, National E-Mobility Mission Plan 2020 does not mean that it was launched in 2020. Rather, targets that were taken here that were to be achieved by 2020. Therefore, the word 2020, not launched in 2020. I hope this is clear. Now, National E-Mobility Mission Plan is actually the nodal or master plan in India with respect to adoption of electric vehicles. Now, in prelims, question might be asked that what are the objective of National E-Mobility Mission Plan? So basically, guys, and everything related to electric mobility is actually covered under this particular program. For example, research and development with respect to electric vehicles, it is included here. Secondly, demand side challenges. Why demand is not there for electric vehicles? Demand side challenges. For example, I want to buy a car. I might not consider electric car. Why? Charging infrastructure is not there. That is a demand side challenge that will be addressed. Supply side challenges. Suppose I'm a car manufacturer. Why I'm not making electric vehicles? Maybe I am not having the adequate lithium-ion batteries. So supply side challenges will be addressed. Fine. Charging infrastructure, infrastructure shortages, charging infrastructure, or some other infrastructure that will be addressed. Okay. So this is the master plan for electric mobility in India, National E-Mobility Mission Plan. Now, under this particular program itself, FAME is included. FAME is included. Now I am pretty sure that you might have at least heard the name of FAME scheme. What is this FAME scheme all about? What is this FAME scheme is all about? Fine. FAME. So FAME stands for faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles. Now this particular scheme is launched by Ministry of Heavy Industry and Public Enterprises. Now, up till now, two phases of FAME scheme has got started. There was a FAME 1 that got launched in 2015, and right now FAME 2 is going on. Which got started in 2019. Under this FAME scheme, now FAME is the major, FAME is a vehicle, FAME is a scheme through which National Electric Mobility Mission Plan is getting operationalized. Under FAME scheme, what will be done? Charging station will be established, buyers will be incentivized so that they buy the electric vehicles. For example, subsidies will be given. In registration charges, financial incentives will be given. Okay, so we have this FAME 2 scheme, which is the nodal scheme for electric vehicle. Now, guys, when we talk about electric vehicles, so under National E-Mobility Mission Plan that we have, there is a 30 by 30 target that we have. What is 30 by 30 target? Number one, ensure 30% vehicles that are being sold in India by 2030 should be EVs. 30% sale penetration of EV by 2030. 30% vehicles that are being sold should be EV. And secondly, by 2030, in cumulatively, 30% vehicles on road should be EV. 30% of vehicles that we have on the roads, they should be EV. And in terms of sale, 30% vehicles that are being sold in India, they should be EV. 30 by 30 target, one of a target under National E-Mobility Mission Plan 2020. Okay. One more, National E-Mobility Mission Plan 2020. It also wanted that 5 to 7 million EVs should be there on the roads by 2020. And I believe that actually we have more than this. Why? Because these e-rickshaws that have penetrated the markets. So I'm pretty sure you might have seen these e-rickshaws. Okay. Now, moving on. So as we talk about the 30 by 30, 30% of vehicles by 2030 should be EV in nature. So in this context, there is one thing that was in news, that is e-retrofitment. What is e-retrofitment? E-retrofitment refers to a mechanical procedure where internal combustion engines in the vehicles will be replaced with a powertrain. Now, what it is? We have the regular internal combustion engines that are used in your petrol diesel cars. So these internal combustion engines will be replaced with the electric power train. They will be replaced with the electric power trains, means converting these internal combustion engines in EV. Converting these internal combustion engines in the EV. So this is the e-retrofitment. Now what it will help? It will help us to reach the target of 30 by 30. 30 by 30. If you remember, 30% vehicles by 2030 should be EV. So it will help us to reach that 30 by 30 target, number one. Also, e-retrofitment, it is a way to fulfill the carbon neutrality by 2070. Carbon neutrality by 2070. Now, already I have told you this particular thing, that to be carbon neutral by 2070, it is not India's INDC. It is not India's INDC. But anyhow, that we have agreed as per our Panchamrit goal. Yes or no? That we have agreed anyhow as per our Panchamrit goal. So it will help us in that particular direction. Okay. So FAME, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan, we discussed. Global EV 30 by 30. Fine. Also, there is one more development that has happened on the EV space. And that development is this. There is one more development that has happened on EV space, and the development is this, that recently Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, they have amended the model building bylaw. Under this model building bylaw, they have said that 20% of the parking space, 20% of the parking space should be kept aside for EV charging facilities in residential and commercial buildings. Fine. 20% of the parking space should be kept aside for charging stations, charging infrastructure. Moving on, E20 fuel. Moving on, E20 fuel. Now, what is E, first of all? E here stands for ethanol. E stands for ethanol. And 20 refers to the proportion of ethanol. 20 refers to the proportion of ethanol. Now, when we talk about ethanol, ethanol is a biofuel. Ethanol is a biofuel, biological fuel, biological fuel. Now, guys, when we talk about ethanol, basically ethanol can be blended with petrol. And when we blend ethanol with petrol, it increases the octane rating of petrol, by which it gets a higher thrust. Also, basically, blending ethanol with the petrol will have multiple benefits for India. Benefit number one, 84% of India's oil requirements, they are fulfilled by imports. And as we are importing this oil, number one problem, dependency on the foreign countries. Number two, we need to pay a lot of foreign exchange when we are importing the oil. Third problem is that basically, as these fuels are carbon based, as oil, petrol, diesel, crude oil, it is carbon based. It leads to a lot of carbon emission. It leads to a lot of carbon emission. So strategic problem, economical problem, and then environmental problem. What we can do, we can blend ethanol with the petrol. Now that ethanol we can produce domestically. For example, what is this E20? What is E20? E20 is a type of a fuel which have 80% petrol, 80% petrol and 20% ethanol, 20% ethanol. Now, basically, guys, understand this thing. As we are blending 20% ethanol, means a 20% reduction on crude oil can be there. By that, strategically will become Atmanirbhar. Secondly, by that, we need not to pay the money that we are paying to the foreign countries. Thirdly, carbon footprint will also come down. Okay, carbon footprint will also come down. So basically what has happened, government has taken target of 20 by 25. 20 by 25. What it means? It means that the petrol that will be sold by India by 2025 will mandatorily be blended with 20% ethanol. So government of India, it has now, earlier target deadline was 2030. Now we have shifted back. We have shifted back the deadline from 2030 to 2025. So basically, what is E20? First of all, E20 refers to a special type of a fuel, which is a blended fuel, means contains petrol and ethanol. E20 means 20% ethanol, 80% petrol. One more thing is there, guys, that there can be E30, E40 likewise. Okay, E30 means 30% ethanol. E40 means 40% ethanol. Okay, up till now, practical demonstration of up to E85 has happened. Up to E85, actually it is 83 to 85 has happened. What is E83 to E85? It means a special type of a fuel which contained 83 to 85% ethanol and only 15 to 17% petrol was there. Its demonstration has happened. Its demonstration has happened. Now, we have a special type of vehicles called as the flex fuel vehicles. Flex fuel vehicles. Now, what are the flex fuel vehicles? Flex fuel vehicles are those vehicles which can run on any blend of ethanol and petrol, which can run on any blend of ethanol and petrol up to 85%. Means they can run on E20, they can run on E10, they can run on E50, they can run on E60. Any blend of ethanol and petrol they can run on. They are called as the flex fuel vehicles, flex fuel vehicles. And for ethanol blending, Government of India has taken a target of 20% ethanol blending E20 by till 2025. Earlier the deadline was 2030. Now, when we talk about the ethanol blending and related things, there is also one more concept that comes in news. Now see this thing. Government encourages. No, okay. One important thing that comes is here is that how you make ethanol. How you make ethanol. Okay. So you see this particular thing. When we talk about ethanol, ethanol is a type of a biofuel. Ethanol is a type of a biofuel. Now we have National Policy on Biofuel 2018. We have National Policy on Biofuel 2018. It divides biofuels in two categories. That is basic biofuels and advanced biofuels. Basic biofuels and advanced biofuels. So in total, we have 4 generations of biofuel. Generation 1 is included in basic biofuel, and generation 2, 3, 4, they are included in the advanced biofuels. Now, what are the first generation biofuels? First generation biofuels are those biofuels which are derived from food sources, That is sugarcane, starch, vegetable oil, animal fat. Okay, now when we talk about ethanol, majority of ethanol as of now is extracted by sugarcane. It is a byproduct of sugarcane industry. Now, sugarcane is a food product because sugarcane we make sugar, and sugar is a edible commodity. Okay. So when we talk about India, we are moving towards ethanol blending, but in India, majority of ethanol that we are making today, it is basic biofuel, means it is first generation biofuel. What is first generation biofuel? That biofuel which is made from food sources. In India, we make ethanol from sugarcane. Ethanol can be made from other things also, which have high starch content. But as of now, we are making majority of ethanol in India from sugarcane. Now you see this particular thing, that government encourages ethanol derived from C heavy and B heavy molasses rather than from sugarcane juice. Now, what is this C heavy and B heavy molasses? You see this particular thing. I'm pretty sure that you might have consumed the sugarcane juice from a cart. How they make sugarcane juice? First, they will put a sugarcane. They'll get some juice. Then that molasses, that leftover, they'll put that. Then they'll get some juice. Then again, they'll put that leftover. So what is C heavy, B heavy molasses? C heavy, B heavy molasses means that extracting ethanol from the leftover. See, you use sugarcane, you make sugar out of it, then leftover. You process that leftover once. Then you process that leftover again. So the processing of leftover. So B heavy molasses means those molasses which are being processed for the second time. C heavy. Even if you process that particular thing, then you get the C heavy molasses. So B heavy, C heavy means deriving ethanol from the one from which sugarcane juice already has been extracted. Why government encourages making ethanol from B heavy and C heavy molasses rather than sugarcane juice? Because then there will be the food versus fuel debate that will arise. Food versus fuel debate, food versus fuel problem will arise. Now, government also announces the prices for ethanol. Who announces the prices for ethanol? Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Fine. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Okay, it announces the prices for ethanol. Now, we have already discussed about the national policy on biofuel, which divides biofuel in two categories, basic and advanced. Now, let's see. In basic, we have the first generation. In basic, we have first generation biofuel. Then in second generation, then there is a second generation, third generation, fourth generation, which are advanced generation. So first generation biofuel made from food sources. Now, they will always have this particular problem of food versus fuel. Food versus the fuel problem will always be there. So we come with the second generation. Now, second generation biofuels are the ones which are produced either from non-food crops. Fine. Either you make it from non-food crops or you make those part of the food crops which are inedible, which we don't consume, agricultural waste, agricultural residue. So they are produced either from non-food crops or from inedible portion of food crops like stem, husk, wood chips, fruit skins, etc. Okay. So this is the second generation. Then after that we have the third generation. Third generation. Now, third generation are made from microorganisms such as algae, which can grow in degraded lands, which can grow in extreme temperatures. So we have many areas where there are the extreme temperatures, degraded lands, agriculture cannot grow there. So there we can harvest these special type of algae, which can be used as a biofuel. So algae that can be grown in unsuitable areas, which are unsuitable for food production. Okay. Then there are the fourth generation biofuels. Now, these fourth generation biofuels are the most advanced one. Why? Because this fourth generation biofuel, as we talk about it, they are made from a specially genetically engineered crops. They are made from specially genetically engineered crops. Now, what happens? So basically, these particular crops, what they do when they grow up, they'll consume a lot of carbon dioxide. They consume a lot of carbon dioxide, more carbon dioxide than the normal plants and trees that we have. So they'll consume a lot of carbon dioxide. Then these plants will be used to make fuel, and carbon emissions from this fuel, they'll be stored and captured. They'll be stored and captured. They'll be stored and captured. So that carbon emissions will not be released. So means that more fuel you are using, more carbon you are absorbing from the environment. So they are net carbon negative. Yeah, yes, they are carbon negative. So they are carbon negative. Okay, is it clear or not? Okay. Now, when we talk about the national policy on biofuels, what are the other features of national policy on biofuels? So here only you can note it down. Okay. So see, original national policy on biofuels, 20% blending target of ethanol in petrol and 5% of blending with biodiesel was by 2030. Now it has been changed. So from 2030, 20% blending target has been advanced to 2025. It has been advanced to 2025. Second, what will be done? Okay. Categorization of biofuel in basic biofuel and advanced biofuel. That already we have discussed. First generation, they are basic, and second, third, fourth generation are advanced. Then the next, develop national biomass repository by conducting appraisal of biomass across the country. How much agricultural waste, how much agricultural biomass or other type of biomass we have. Why? Because if you remember, guys, second generation biofuel, they are made through agricultural waste, agricultural residue leftover. So that biomass, the biomass that we have, will be important for making second generation of biofuel. So assess how much biofuel we have in the country. Then third, thrust on advanced biofuel. The policy indicates a viability gap funding scheme for 2G ethanol biorefineries. So see, I told you that first generation biofuels, 1G, there is a debate or a controversy of food versus fuel. So we quickly need to move from first generation to second or third generation. Right now, practical feasibility on commercial scale we have demonstrated is for 2G, second generation. So viability gap funding means the financial support will be given by the government. What is viability gap funding? It is a special financial support that is given to make a project viable. Fine. Just to give you an idea, suppose government granted you a contract to make a flyover. Now you have constructed the flyover. You have constructed 80% of flyover, but now you have constructed 80% of flyover, but now 20% of construction is remaining. You have run out of money. Because of that, your project has become unviable. Now you need just 20% money. Government can give you a special funding to make this project viable. This is called as viability gap funding. So to make the projects viable, funding can be given by government, especially for the 2G type of plants. Biodiesel production to be encouraged from non-edible oil seeds, used cooking oil. Now, how from used cooking oil biodiesel is made, that process we'll see. It is called as a transesterification. I will see it separately, therefore I'm not covering right now. So biodiesel is to be made. How biodiesel is to be made? By using the used cooking oil. For that already there is a scheme by the name of RUCO that we have come out with. We'll discuss it. Thrust on research and development. Increase scope for raw material for ethanol. Procurement by encouraging intermediate B molasses sugarcane. B molasses. So focus now. See, sugarcane juice even is being used till now, but government in long run wants to get more and more ethanol. See, first priority is to get ethanol by second generation, third generation sources. But if not possible, then in first generation, what we need to do, we need to, rather than deriving it from sugarcane juice, we need to derive it from the molasses, B heavy, C heavy molasses. Okay, setting up of National Biofuel Coordination Committee. National Biofuel Coordination Committee. Now, this National Biofuel Coordination Committee will be established under Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. One particular thing you need to keep in mind, that it is not Ministry of Environment and Forest. It is not Ministry of Environment and Forest. It is Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Okay. Yes. Yes. Is it clear to everyone? Then moving on. E100 pilot project. E100 pilot project was recently in news. So what has happened? Government initiated this E100 pilot project. What is this E100 pilot project? Government wants to demonstrate feasibility of fuel which is 100% ethanol based. If you remember, we discussed that up till now, feasibility of 83 to 85% ethanol mixed blended with 15% of petrol has been demonstrated. But is it possible that we can run vehicle entirely on ethanol? We don't take any petrol. Is it possible? So E100 project here, we want to develop technologies, we want to develop vehicles, we want to develop engine technologies which can run or neat ethanol fuel, that is 100% ethanol fuel. Okay, so this is a kind of an R&D project that is going on. This is an R&D project that is going on. Moving on, RUCO project. RUCO project. Now, what is RUCO? RUCO stands for Repurpose Used Cooking Oil Scheme. RUCO stands for Repurpose Used Cooking Oil. Now, if I just take you here, this point, what Biofuel Policy 2018 recommended? Biofuel Policy 2018 recommended that biodiesel should be produced through used cooking oil that has been used. And for that, this RUCO project is there, that is the Repurpose Used Cooking Oil. What it will do? It will use vegetable oil that has already been used in restaurants, that has been used in hotels, homes, commercial facilities, and that cooking oil that will be used to make biodiesel. That will be used to make biodiesel, and that biodiesel will be used for running diesel vehicles. That will be used for running diesel vehicles. Fine. Now, how that will happen? We'll just discuss it in the transesterification. Now, see this particular thing. There is also one more scheme, that is the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Yojana. Okay, this was also in news. Now, what is Pradhan Mantri Jeevan? So it has a long name, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan. It stands for Jaiv Indhan Vatavaran Anukul Fasal Avashesh Nivaran Yojana. So I'll just recommend you to just to read this abbreviated version. So what this Pradhan Mantri Jeevan scheme is, this particular scheme wants to explore the second generation biofuels. I told many number of times that first generation biofuels, always they have this problem of food versus fuel controversies will be there. If you use sugarcane for making ethanol, then availability of sugarcane for sugar will go down. So therefore, what government is doing, government under this scheme, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan scheme, it is promoting 2G biofuel technology. It is promoting 2G biofuel technology, and here what government is doing, Government is providing special funding. Government is providing special funding to the plants who can make ethanol who can make 2G ethanol. Who can make 2G ethanol. So funds will be allocated for 12 commercial projects, 10 demonstration projects. So what will be done? Funds will be made available to the plants, to the entrepreneurs who can make second generation biofuel under this Pradhan Mantri Gibbon. So phase one was okay. So phase one was 2018-19. Okay. Now after 2022-3, now the phase two has been started. Okay. Fine. So two things will be there. Now, what is the incentive for entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs have two incentives. Number one, they'll get fund for making the second generation ethanol. They'll get the fund under the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan. Secondly, they also will receive a short market for that ethanol. Suppose I'm an entrepreneur. Government gave me funding to establish the plant. I have established the plant. Now I have this ethanol. What to do with this ethanol? So now this ethanol will be supplied to oil marketing companies. This ethanol, now ethanol produced will be mandatorily supplied to oil marketing companies for the ethanol blending. So two ways government is supporting under the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan. Number one, capital support is being given. Number two, they are being given the short market assistance also. Now, who is implementing it? It is being implemented by the Center for High Technology, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Moving on to the next one. Global Biofuel Alliance. Okay, Global Biofuel Alliance. By the way, if you remember, Global Biofuel Alliance already we have discussed when we were discussing the G20, because in G20 this global biofuel okay, sorry, G20 we haven't discussed, sorry, G20 we haven't discussed, so no issues, we'll discuss it when we'll discuss the IR. So Global Biofuel Alliance, it was launched in G20. Now it has been launched by multiple countries, and the major ones are India and Brazil. Under this Global Biofuel Alliance, India, it will lead. Other countries are also there, such as Brazil, fine, Japan is there, fine, Canada is there. These countries will promote the usage of biofuels, will promote the usage of biofuels. So it has been launched by India. It is a group involving governments, international groups led by India and backed by Brazil and US. So three countries have backed it: India, Brazil, and US. Now, when we talk about biofuels, we have bioethanol. Already we have discussed bioethanol. It is bioethanol is derived from, it can be derived from agricultural crops, non-edible crops, okay, those portions of crops which are not edible, or algae. Fine, we have bioethanol. Ethanol will be blended with petrol. We have biodiesel. Then we have biodiesel. Now, what is biodiesel? Biodiesel is a special type of diesel which is made through the process of transesterification. Which is made through the process of transesterification. Now, guys, what is a transesterification? What happens in transesterification? It is a chemical conversion of triglycerides with alcohol in alkyl esters with the help of a catalyst. Now, it is a very hi-fi language. Let's understand in very simple words. You see, first of all, what is a triglycerides? Triglycerides, in a way, is just to make you understand, I am saying this. Triglycerides is just a fancy name for fats. It is just a fancy name for fat. What you do? You take oil. You take vegetable oil. In oil, we have a lot of triglycerides. Now that oil will be mixed with special type of alcohol and a catalyst. And in this particular process, what will happen? You will get a final product which is biodiesel. So what is transesterification? Transesterification is the conversion of triglycerides, that is the fat, that you will find in the vegetable oil with alcohol in alkyl esters with the help of a catalyst. Now, what is a catalyst? Catalyst is any chemical, any compound, any element which speeds up the reaction without participating in the reaction. Now, understand this thing. We already have the scheme by the name of RUCO. If you remember, yes, here we have RUCO scheme. Now, what we are doing in RUCO scheme, vegetable oil in RUCO scheme, vegetable oil or the oil that has been used by restaurants, commercial facilities, that oil will be taken and that particular oil will be converted in biodiesel, and that biodiesel will be used to drive the vehicles. And the process of making biodiesel from cooking oil, used oil, that process is called as a transesterification. That process is called as transesterification. So when we talk about biofuel, what we want to promote? We want to promote bioethanol, we want to promote biodiesel, and we want to promote biogas. Now, guys, what biogas is? Biogas largely contains methane. What biogas largely contains? Biogas largely contains the methane and some amounts of CO2. Methane and some amounts of CO2. Okay, biogas. Now, the biogas can be produced through fermentation. Fine, a metallic process that produce chemical change through the action of enzymes. Now, basically, when we talk about the biogas, fine, we make compressed biogas, which is an anaerobic process. What we do? Agricultural waste, cattle waste, cattle excreta, leftover food items, fine, they will be processed in a biogas plant to make methane, and that methane can be used as a source of energy. So what we are actually doing, under Global Biofuel Alliance, India, US, and Brazil, which are the leader countries, they are going to promote the usage of biofuels, which includes biogas, biodiesel, bioethanol. They'll provide the technical know-how to the countries that how they can use these, how they can make these biofuels. Okay, so technical know-how will also be provided. Okay, fine. Ethanol blending program. There is also sustainable sugarcane initiative. Now, sustainable sugarcane initiative is a very simple one-liner concept. Today, if you know, we are basically, when we talk about the sugarcane, today sugarcane, it uses a lot of water as well as it uses a lot of chemical fertilizers. And many states which don't have that much of water, they are also growing sugarcane. So what is sustainable sugarcane initiative? Promote the sustainable sugarcane cultivation without using lot of water. Okay, flex fuel vehicles we have seen. RUCO we have already seen. Now, next is Govardhan scheme. 2018. Govardhan scheme. Okay. Now, Govardhan scheme, I have discussed at one place also. I'll discuss that. So just we need to go a little bit down. Just guys, keep on going with me. Yes. So if you come here in the renewable energies in India, we have this Govardhan scheme. Now, Govardhan scheme. So basically, what is this Govardhan scheme? Now see, under this Govardhan scheme, cattle dung, agriculture residue, organic waste, food products, vegetable peels, etc. They will be collected and they will be used to make compressed biogas. So what will be done across the country? Biogas plants will be developed. Across the country, biogas plants will be developed. And these biogas plants will make biogas by using cattle dung, agriculture residue, organic waste, etc. Now see this thing. What you do? in biogas plant, you put all this particular waste, you will get two things. Number one, you will get a gas. Secondly, you'll get that solid leftover. Fine. So that there will be that solid leftover. So that solid leftover can be used as a manure. Can be used as a manure. It can be used as a bio fertilizer. Today we use a lot of chemicals in agriculture. So those chemicals will be replaced with this biofertilizer, that solid substance, and that gas, which largely contains methane. That biogas, it can be used for cooking purpose, it can be used for heating purpose, it can also be used for the for the running vehicles. Now, guys, basically we use compressed natural gas, CNG. Okay, so in metropolitans today we use a CNG, compressed natural gas. On that vehicles run. So natural gas, what is the major component in natural gas? Methane. In biogas, what will be the major component? Methane. So for running the vehicles also, this particular gas can be used for cooking, for power, it can be for energy needs, it can be used. So Govardhan, now this Govardhan, under the Govardhan, what will be done? There will be three models that will be there. There will be three models that will be there. Individual household model will be there. Individual household model will be there. With so basically a biogas plant, a small kind of a facility plant will be made, which can serve the needs of that household. Then community model, it will serve 5 to 10 households. So basically what will be done, a little bit bigger biogas plant will be laid, which can supply the gas to the 5 to 10 households. And then there is cluster model. Cluster model. So install biogas plants for the village, they will have the bigger biogas plants. Are you getting it or not? So biogas, what it composes? It largely composes methane and CO2, and it is produced through anaerobic digestion of organic matter. So organic matter that we have already discussed, cow dung, leftover food products, etc. Fine, they'll be broken down without the oxygen. What is anaerobic digestion? Breaking down without oxygen. Okay, and methane content can be used for energy. Okay, moving on next. Yes, guys, from time to time, it is my duty that I should ask from you that if you have any doubt, please ask your doubt. Why use C and B abbreviation? Okay, just to denote the step B, C, D, we have used it. No such other technical thing. Yes, guys, others, please let me know if there is any issue, if there is any problem, please let me know. Yes, is it clear? Are you able to understand, guys? I'll request you, just please give a little bit pain to your fingers and just let me know so that I can be assured that you are able to understand. Okay, yes, 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 sir, yes, sir, yes. Okay, okay, fine, clear. Okay, fine, moving on. Invisible e-waste. So recently, WEE forum, fine, WEE forum, what it stands, WEE, it stands for Invisible e-waste, waste electric and electric equipment. So recently, WEE forum held its meeting in Brussels, and it has decided to calculate the amount of invisible e-waste. It has decided to calculate the amount of invisible e-waste. And what has happened? They have given the responsibility to UNITAR, that is United Nations Institute for Training and Research, to calculate the volume of invisible e-waste items. So WEE forum has given a special responsibility to UNITAR, that is United Nations Institute for Training and Research, to calculate the amount of invisible e-waste. Now, what is invisible e-waste? Invisible e-waste is that which is all the time lying in the front of our eyes, but we don't consider that as e-waste. For example, in your home, I'm pretty much sure that you will be having a drawer, or there might be a compartment in which you have old discarded chargers, USB cables, cables that came with your Wi-Fi router, they are just there. Fine. Some 20, 30-year-old charger, toys, they are there. So this e-waste, is referred to as invisible e-waste. Why? Because usually we don't consider that as a e-waste. So what is invisible e-waste? It refers to electric waste that often goes unnoticed. Unnoticed. It includes electric toys, cables, e-cigarettes, e-bikes, smoke detectors, power tools like the drill machines, etc., USB sticks. Fine. Now, basically, it has been provided that majority of e-waste, 35% of total invisible waste, but invisible e-waste, sorry, 35% of invisible e-waste that we have, it comprises of e-toys. It comprises of e-toys, remote cars, etc., that you have. Now, basically, these e-waste, this is becoming a major challenge. We need to address it. Now, often e-waste, they have uh, they contain lead, mercury, cadmium, fine, because of which they become a environmental hazard. Now, when we talk about e-waste in the context of India, we already have e-waste regulations, e-waste management rules 2016. Now, e-waste management rules 2016, they have come out with a important concept, that is the concept of EPR, extended producer responsibility. Extended producer responsibility. Now, first of all, why EPR came and what is the need of EPR? See, when we talk about e-waste, they releases this lead, mercury, etc., which is very much harmful for environment as well as for people. Okay, one thing. Second thing, guys, understand this particular thing, that in India, majority of recycling of e-waste, majority of collection of e-waste that happens, it is done by the informal sector workers. They don't have expertise, they don't have tools, they don't have knowledge to process the e-waste. So therefore, what happens under EPR, manufacturer is being given the responsibility to process the e-waste after the end of that particular life. For example, suppose you buy this particular mobile phone. You buy this particular mobile phone. Now, let's say life of this particular mobile phone is 5 years. Now it is a responsibility of a manufacturer to procure this particular mobile phone after the 5 years and process it at its own. So different companies, Samsung, Apple, they are being given target that they have to recollect electric waste after the end of their life and they have to process them at their own. This is the extended producer responsibility. Extended producer responsibility. We are also promoting the idea of circular economy. Now, one is linear economy, that is you make, you consume, you discard. Make, consume, discard. This is linear economy. What is circular economy? Circular economy is use, reuse, recycle, and refurbish. Use, reuse, recycle, or refurbish. Circular economy. So this is something that we are promoting in order to reduce the e-waste in India. Okay. This is, guys, all about it. Now moving to next one, MD15, methanol diesel 15 MD15. Okay, guys, just give me 1 minute. Just in a 1 minute, we are again going to resume. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, guys. So resuming again, methanol diesel 15 MD 15 fuel. So recently, what has happened? Indian Railways, specifically Indian Railways Research Design and Standard Organization RDSO, they have come out with this MD15 fuel that will be used in Indian Railways. Now, this particular fuel has been made by two organizations, that is RDSO, Railways Research Design and Standard Organization, and IOCL, Indian Oil Corporation Limited. So, RDSO and IOCL, they have come out with this methanol diesel 15 MD15. Now, see this particular thing. This particular fuel, it is a kind of a blended fuel which contains regular diesel, which contains methanol and certain additives. So this particular fuel, it contains 15% methanol, 71% of regular diesel, and 14% of indigenously developed additives. 14% of additives, fine, which have been developed by IOCL. Now, if you see, the content of regular diesel is just 71%. So therefore, it is less polluting and happens to be more efficient. It is less polluting and happens to be more efficient. Now, when we talk about methanol that is being used here, which is a major component, this methanol. So Niti Aayog, they have just some time back, they released their methanol economy vision. They released the methanol economy vision. So basically, guys, as we blend ethanol with petrol, methanol can be blended with the diesel. Methanol can be blended with the diesel. So see, we need to develop a biodiesel. We need to develop more and more methanol, which can be blended with the regular diesel. Now, what is this? What is this methanol? So methanol is a type of an alcohol. It is a simple one of the simplest type of alcohol that we have. Methanol is a type of an alcohol. It is also called as the when we talk about the methanol, it is also called as the wood alcohol. Wood alcohol. It is also called as wood alcohol. Now, methanol can be made by high ash coal. Now, if guys, when we talk about the coal deposits in India, we find this particular thing that coal deposits in India, they have a high content of ash. So with the high ash coal, agricultural residue, fine, we can make this particular methanol. Now, how methanol is to be made? How methanol is made? So the process is very simple. The process is very simple to make the methanol. So basically, coal. Now, basically, guys, first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to start with the normal coal that we have. So basically, what will be done? So the coal, it will be crushed and it will be heated. Basically, the coal will be crushed, it will be heated, it will be what do you say? Coal will be crushed, it will be heated, and in between, what will be done? Steam will be, high pressure steam will be introduced. High pressure steam will be introduced. Because of this particular process, syngas or synthetic gas will be made. Now, this particular synthetic gas can be further cleaned to collect the methanol. It can be cleaned to collect the methanol. So high ash coal that we have, agricultural residue that we have, it is an excellent source of methanol. And recently what has happened, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, BHEL, it has developed fluidized bed gasification technology. Fluidized bed gasification technology. Now, this fluidized bed now see, I told you that coal in a gasifier, it will be heated and that coal will be converted in the syngas. Now, this syngas, it can be converted in methanol. So basically, for conversion of syngas in methanol, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, they have developed the fluidized bed gasification technology, okay, which can help us to make more and more methanol. Such methanol can be blended with the diesel and it can run the railways. Such methanol can be blended with the diesels and it can power the other vehicles also. It can power other vehicles also. Fine. So we have the MD15. Now, in examination, if question comes that MD15 was recently news, it is what? It is a bio. It is a MD15. What it is? It is a special type of a fuel. It is a blended fuel which is mixed with the mineral oil and special type of additives. Okay, moving on. Next. Moving on. Next. Okay, white hydrogen. White hydrogen. Fine. Now see this particular thing that if you have followed the news, you might be knowing that there was one important news item that has been in the newspapers. That is the green hydrogen, National Green Hydrogen Mission was launched. So over the period, we have actually seen multiple different type of hydrogen. By the way, hydrogen is a colorless gas. But we see there is white hydrogen, there is green hydrogen, there is blue hydrogen. So all the different types of hydrogen that we have, we are going to discuss here. First, we'll start with the white hydrogen. First, we'll start with the white hydrogen. Now, the white hydrogen, it is also called as the geological hydrogen. It is also called as geological hydrogen. One thing I just want to clear, guys, is that hydrogen is a colorless gas. We call hydrogen as green, pink, blue on the basis of the way that we are using, on the basis of technology that is being used. On that particular basis, we classify a type of hydrogen. You'll understand it just in a minute. So first we have white hydrogen, geological hydrogen. Now this hydrogen is made naturally. This hydrogen is made naturally. Geological processes that are operating in the earth's crust, etc., they are responsible for making this white hydrogen. At the side of host, please mute yourself. Guys, just give me a 1 minute. Let me call them and let me ask them. Okay. So white hydrogen is called as a geological hydrogen. It is a natural hydrogen. Now, how this natural hydrogen is formed? There are certain ways, certain processes by which this natural hydrogen is made in the earth. So first is serpentization. It is serpentization. So basically what happens in this serpentization? So basically when water reacts with certain type of volcanic rocks, in that particular reaction, in that particular process, hydrogen is made. For example, what happens when water enters the mantle of earth? You might be knowing already about the mantle in your geography classes. So water, it seeps into the earth's mantle and there it reacts with magnesium iron silicate. It reacts with magnesium iron silicate, and as a byproduct, hydrogen is produced. That is called as the white hydrogen, made by the geological process through the process of serpentization. Then next we have radiolysis. So what happened? So basically the water, now you see water is nothing but H2O. Water is nothing but H2O. So what happens? So in the earth, naturally, water, it gets decomposed. So it is a natural decomposition of water into hydrogen and oxygen due to radioactive decay of uranium. So as uranium and thorium, they are decaying. So what happens? It also leads to the water also to get decomposed as hydrogen separately and oxygen separately. So through radioactive decay, what can happen? Through radioactive decay, hydrogen, it can through radioactive decay, water can split as hydrogen and oxygen, and that hydrogen will be white hydrogen. Fine. When water comes in contact with the certain type of volcanic rocks, it can split in hydrogen and oxygen. Then there are biogenic processes. Certain microorganism as are their metabolic processes. If you remember, we have discussed already the short-lived halogens, which are produced by the phytoplanktons, etc. So certain biological organisms, for example, we humans, what we do? We are inhaling oxygen, we are emitting CO2. It is our metabolic processes. So certain organism as a part of metabolic process, they emit hydrogen. So all these type of hydrogens, they are called as the white hydrogen. But collecting this white hydrogen is very difficult, and we don't find them in sufficient quantities which make them economically viable. So we don't find them in sufficient quantity to make them economically viable. Secondly, mining them is very much difficult also because it readily escapes through the pores in the earth. Then we have green hydrogen. Now, guys, when we talk about green hydrogen, so green hydrogen is made through the process of electrolysis. Now, what is electrolysis? So basically, in electrolysis, electricity is used to split water H2O as hydrogen and oxygen, and that hydrogen will be collected. So basically, guys, what we have here, we have electrolyzers. So electrolyzers are special devices. Which splits H2O as hydrogen and oxygen, and hydrogen will be collected separately. And here, electricity that is being used, it is derived from renewable sources. This electricity will be derived from solar, from the from windmill, anything. Electricity used in electrolysis is derived from renewable sources. Therefore, it is called as a green hydrogen. Okay. Now, one question might be there in certain aspirants' mind that we are using electricity to make hydrogen, and that hydrogen we might use to run the vehicle. That hydrogen we might use for powering the buildings. Okay. By the way, hydrogen, there is a fuel cell. There is hydrogen fuel cell, which can provide us the electricity energy to power the building, to power the car, vehicles, etc. Now, my question is that we have electricity, we are making hydrogen, and then that hydrogen we are using to run the car. Why we directly don't use that electricity? Anybody who want to answer this, you can just simply unmute your mic and you can you can answer. Anybody, if they want to answer? Now, see, answer is very clear, very simple, not that complicated. Basically, hydrogen is more portable fuel. Today, you want to charge your car, if you have an EV, even with the fast charger, it will take 1.5 to 2 hours to fully charge your car. But hydrogen, as you can win in a matter of minutes, you can fill, you can get your car fueled with diesel and petrol. In the same way, hydrogen can be filled in just a matter of minutes. So hydrogen is a mobile source of energy. Okay. So green hydrogen, it is made through the process of electrolysis. Where we use electricity to split water as hydrogen, and that hydrogen is collected, and electricity that is being used, it is derived from renewable sources. Then next we have is blue hydrogen. Now, what is blue hydrogen? In blue hydrogen, we use steam methane reformation. Now, basically, one particular thing, guys, understand very clearly. Green hydrogen, what is the kind of a raw material that you're using? Water. What is raw material that you're using here? Water. Blue hydrogen, you will use natural gas. you will use natural gas, and the process method will be steam methane reformation. One thing, green hydrogen, water and electrolysis. Here, natural gas and steam methane reformation. Now, what this entire process is, let's understand it in very simple way. So basically, natural gas will be taken. Natural gas will be subjected to high pressure steam. It will be subjected to high pressure steam. Now, basically, when we talk about natural gas, what is the major constituent of natural gas? CH4. CH4, methane. So natural gas, what it contains majorly? Natural gas contains methane, CH4. So basically, when natural gas and high pressure steam will be mixed, what will happen? You will get hydrogen. You will get hydrogen, CO2. Okay, you will get hydrogen, CO2, little bit of carbon monoxide as byproduct, and that hydrogen will be collected separately. Hydrogen will be collected separately. Okay, that hydrogen will be collected separately. So basically, what we do, we use natural gas, and that natural gas is subjected to high pressure steam, which gives us hydrogen. We have blue hydrogen. Then we have next is brown hydrogen. Now in brown hydrogen, what we do? We use coal. So basically, coal will be put under high pressure and heat, high pressure and temperature in a coal gasifier. There will be a coal gasifier. Okay, the process is gasification. Coal gasification. So gasifier is a special kind of a machine in which you put coal under high pressure and high temperature. Okay, and what happens, that coal is converted in syngas. Okay, then that syngas, from there hydrogen will be extracted. So here we use the coal. Now here we use water, here we use natural gas, here we use coal. Now gray hydrogen. Now what is gray hydrogen? Gray hydrogen is the one, okay, gray hydrogen is the one, understand this particular thing. You see this thing. When we are making this blue hydrogen, what we do? We are using natural gas. But in the process, carbon that is released, it is captured and stored. We are doing it with carbon capture and storage. What is gray hydrogen? Gray hydrogen is blue hydrogen without carbon capture and storage. What is gray hydrogen? Gray hydrogen is blue hydrogen without carbon capture and storage. You will use here steam methane reformation. Here you will use the natural gas, but that carbon will not be captured and stored. First of all, guys, tell me this particular thing. Is this point clear to everyone or not? Because if you have any doubt, please ask right now only. You can ask later also, but if there's any doubt as of now, please ask. Okay. So green hydrogen, electrolysis, water. Blue hydrogen, natural gas, steam methane reformation. Gray hydrogen, natural gas, steam methane reformation, but no carbon capture and storage. Brown hydrogen, coal gasification. Pink hydrogen. Here what we do? We do electrolysis. We use water, but electricity is from nuclear sources. We will use nuclear energy. Electricity will be derived from nuclear source. Okay. Here, green hydrogen electricity was coming from renewables such as solar, windmill, etc. Here, electricity will be generated through nuclear energy. And black hydrogen. Now, black hydrogen is basically what we do. In black hydrogen, what we do? We derive electricity by burning coal, etc. And that electricity is used to make hydrogen. That is not used that much because it defeats the entire purpose. Because if you are burning coal, then directly you can use the mineral oil also. Fine. So guys, I hope that you have understood it. Now here just what so topic is National Biofuel Coordination Committee. National Biofuel Coordination Committee. So basically guys, what has happened recently, there was the National Biofuel Coordination Committee, that's whose meeting was held. Next topic. Okay, green hydrogen. Okay, let's do one thing now. Green hydrogen also, National Green Hydrogen Mission also will discuss. Actually, it is below, but we'll cover that also. National Green Hydrogen Mission also will cover all. Yes, National Green Hydrogen Mission. So recently, guys, National Green Hydrogen Mission was approved by the Union Cabinet. And what it aims to make India as a global champion in green hydrogen production. Okay, now which ministry is going to implement it? This National Green Hydrogen Mission will be implemented by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Now, what is the components? Number one component is strategic intervention site. Strategic intervention for green hydrogen transition project site. Now, what this particular site it is going to do? What this site is going to do? Now, if you remember, I told you that to make a green hydrogen, we have to use electrolyzers. We have to use electrolyzers. Okay. Now here, incentives will be provided for the manufacturing of electrolyzers. You see, if we don't have electrolyzers in India, or if we have too much of dependent for electrolyzers on China, it will defeat the purpose. So first, electrolyzers manufacturing will be promoted under the site component of green hydrogen mission. Second, pilot project, it will support the projects in end use sectors. So what we'll do? We will identify that where green hydrogen can be used. We will identify where green hydrogen can be used and we'll support them with green hydrogen. For example, green hydrogen can be used for transportation. Green hydrogen, let's say, can be used for powering the commercial buildings where laying transmission infrastructure is very much expensive. So what we'll do, we'll support the pilot projects in emerging and use sectors. Strategic hydrogen innovation partnership. So what will be done? Public-private partnership. Public-private partnership framework for research and development will be laid down. PPP framework for the research and development will be laid down. And then the skill development. Now, what is the goal? Goal is 5 million metric ton of green hydrogen is to be produced by 2030. 6 lakh new jobs will be produced. 50 million metric ton of carbon abatement cumulatively if we'll use hydrogen. Obviously, it will reduce the reliance on oil, natural gas. So it will lead to the carbon reductions. 60 to 100 gigawatt of electrolyzer installation. 125 gigawatt renewable energy for green hydrogen production. Now see this thing. If you remember, we have discussed that in green hydrogen, we need to do electrolysis. Electrolysis, we need electricity. Electricity should be renewable. So we need to separately deploy renewable energy capacity to make this much 5 million metric ton green hydrogen. For that 125 gigawatt additional renewable energy will be deployed in India. 8 lakh crore rupees investment, all this thing. Hydrogen fuel cell, what it is? Hydrogen fuel cell converts the chemical energy of hydrogen into electricity. And what are the end products? Water, heat. Okay. So green hydrogen mission also in that particular capacity. Now, moving on. Okay. So recently what happened? National Biofuel Coordination Committee meeting happened. And National Biofuel Coordination Committee, what they have done, they have approved the mandatory blending of CBG with CNG for transportation and piped natural gas. Now see, compressed natural gas. Now see, compressed natural gas. Now natural gas, basically guys, natural gas, it is a, you see this particular thing that as we have mineral oil. So through the millions and millions of years of geological process, natural gas is developed. Now, when we talk about natural gas, we have the natural gas potential in the Krishna Godavari basin of India. Krishna Godavari basin of India. But still, we are importing a lot of natural gas that is used in transportation from the Gulf countries. Okay. Because of that, we have dependency for natural gas on the other countries. Now, I told you natural gas, what is the underlying component of natural gas? Methane. Now, but methane we can also get by making, now see, domestically what we can do, we can make biogas. If you remember, Govardhan scheme was there. Under Govardhan scheme, throughout the country, what will be done? Compressed biogas will be developed. In biogas also, we have methane. So basically, CNG will be blended with the CBG. CNG will be blended with the CBG so that the CNG's requirement can go down. And this blended CNG and CBG will be used for the transportation and will be used for cooking needs. So basically what has happened, it has approved the mandatory blending of CBG with the CNG for transportation. And what it will do? It will stimulate the demand for the CBG. Okay. CBG already we are promoting in the Govardhan. Now, this decision aligns with the biofuel policy. Now we see biofuel policy 20% ethanol blending, 5% biodiesel blending, and there was also the blending of the CBG and CNG. By the way, these timelines they have got adjusted. You see, in biofuel policy timeline is 2030. Laterwards we reduced it to 2025. Fine. Then Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan was carried recently. Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan was carried recently. So basically, guys, when we talk about the Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan, okay, fine. Just one thing, just I want to know as of now, is everything clear? Are you able to understand? Any doubt, guys? If you have, you may please ask. Any doubt, if you have, you may please ask. Okay. Now see this particular thing. See, recently, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, they have announced a Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan. Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan. Now, what is a Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan? In Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan, 131 non-attainment cities are ranked. 131 non-attainment cities are ranked. Now, what is this non-attainment cities? Non-attainment cities are those cities which have more than the maximum permissible range of pollution and particulate matter. Now, you see this particular thing. See, we have in India National Ambient Air Quality Standards. National Ambient Air Quality Standards. Now, this National Ambient Air Quality Standards, it is developed by Ministry of Environment. Now, under this National Ambient Air Quality Standards, 12 pollutants are covered. 12 pollutants are covered. Particulate matter 10 PM10, PM 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, ammonia, lead. Fine. Likewise, arsenic, nickel, benzene, benzopyrene. Okay. 12 pollutants are covered under the National Ambient Air Quality Standards, and maximum tolerable range of all these 12 pollutants has been laid under National Ambient Air Quality Standards. Okay. Cities which have these pollutants more than the NACs, these cities are referred to as the non-attainment cities. These cities are referred to as non-attainment cities. Now, these particular cities, they compete with each other and they try to improve the quality of air. And in Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan survey, these cities are ranked. Now, we have National Clean Air Program. So, under National Clean Air Program, we aim to reduce air pollution by 40% by 25-26. Okay, 25-26. And in order to achieve the target of the National Clean Air Program, non-attainment cities means, who are the non-attainment cities? Means those cities, now all the cities don't have alarming pollution. There are certain specific cities which have alarming pollution, which we have measured on the basis of NACs, and they are referred to as non-attainment cities. So what we are doing, we are creating a kind of a competitive spirit, so that cities, they compete with each other and they improve. So in this Vayu Sarvekshan survey, cities with population over 10 lakh, Indore got first rank. Okay, fine. Population over 10 lakh, 47 cities, Indore got the first rank. Fine. So this is all about it. Beyond that, no need to go. Then next is Satat. Sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation. Satat. Okay, Satat. Now, what is this Satat? Okay. Now, just to make it simple and easy, there are multiple things that are going together. There are multiple things that are going together. Number one, we are promoting biofuel. Okay. Now, listen very carefully. Number one, what we do, we are promoting biofuel. National Biofuel Policy 2018. Under biofuel, what we do, we are promoting biogas, compressed biogas we are promoting. Now for biogas, what we are doing, we need to manufacture biogas, we need to develop biogas. We are running Govardhan. We are running Govardhan, in which biogas plants will be deployed. Now biogas that will be developed, fine, it will be blended with compressed natural gas. It will be blended with compressed natural gas. Again to promote the biogas, what has happened? Recently, Parliamentary Standing Committee on Petroleum and Natural Gas, they have submitted a report on the action on the implementation of Satat. Now, what is Satat? Satat stands for Sustainable Alternative Towards Affordable Transportation. Now, in the Satat, what we need to do? We need to develop the CBG plants in India so that this gas can be used for as automotive fuel. So understand this thing, guys. If you remember, just previous article we have discussed that what we are doing, we are blending CBG with CNG. This is a stopgap arrangement. This is a interim arrangement. What is our long run arrangement? In long run, what we want? In long run, we want to eliminate the dependency on imported CNG, imported natural gas. We want to reduce our dependency on imported natural gas, and in the place of imported natural gas, we want to use only compressed biogas, which we can make in India through the help of the CBG plants that we are already promoting under the Govardhan. So what we want to do? We want to deploy 5,000 CBG plants by 2023, sorry. 5,000 CBG plants are to be deployed by 2023 so that they can produce 15 million metric ton of CBG. Okay, obviously I told you that the solid part will be biomanure and the gaseous part will be the gas. They will be used as a automotive fuel. So the action taken report that what we have done, what we have achieved in this direction till now, it was submitted. Okay, fine. These all we have already discussed. Now, guys, first of all, just I want from your side that are you able to understand this connection or not? Because once you understood this particular connection, you'll not find any difficulty in understanding it, in remembering it. Yes, just guys, please respond to this thing that are you able to understand this connection of biofuel policy, CBG, CNG, Govardhan, Satat, National Biofuel Coordination Committee, all this thing, have you understood or not relation? Okay, very good. Fine. Now, several initiatives we have taken to promote CBG, integration of bio-CNG's transportation fuel, already we have discussed. National policy on biofuel, already we have discussed. Govardhan scheme, fine, we have discussed. Then recognition of CBG project under priority sector lending scheme. Priority sector lending means basically if any sector is recognized as a priority sector under the priority sector lending, then banks have mandatory targets to give them loan. Plastic overshoot day. So recently plastic overshoot day report was released by whom? Earth Action. Now, first of all, this report says that India contributed 16.7 days to the total of 157 plastic overshoot days. Okay. Now, what is plastic overshoot day? Very simple. This you need to know, and who is releasing the report, that you need to know. Now, plastic overshoot day refers to that day on which the plastic waste was more than what we can process. Suppose you can process, you can process 100 ton of plastic waste, but you generated 120 ton. This is plastic overshoot day. So plastic overshoot day signifies when plastic waste exceeds the waste management capacity. The calculation is based on the mismanaged waste index. Mismanaged waste index. So there were 157 plastic overshoot days. Means these many days we exceeded the capacity. We created more plastic waste than what we can process, and India contributed to 16.7 days. I personally believe that it might be more. Then sludge for use as a fertilizer. Sludge for use as a fertilizer. Okay, just last topic we'll do, and then we'll be winding it up. Okay, maybe some 10-15 minutes more next class we need to take. Okay, now sludge as a fertilizer. See, what is sludge? Sludge is a solid and semi-solid sewage that you find often. What happen? People, they clean the sewage, and outside the sewage, they when they clean, so they you find that there are the discarded sludge that is lying there, grayish, blackish color of solid and semi-solid sewage. So sludge, what it is? It is the dense residue generated during wastewater or sewage treatment. Now, this sludge, it contains the chemicals, heavy metals, bacteria, a lot of things. But certain types of sludge, they contain certain chemicals which are beneficial for certain agricultural crops. Now, when we talk about the sludge, so sewage that is treated, it can be categorized as a class A sludge, which can be openly disposed and can be used as fertilizer. Class B sludge, which can be used with limited capacity in agriculture. So basically, treated waste, treated sludge will be used as a fertilizer. Why? Because it has lot of nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, fine, which can be used by the plants for their growth. Is it clear, guys, or not? Fine. So that is all about it. In next class, maybe we'll be needing some 15-20 more minutes. Okay, and we'll be finishing with it off, and with tomorrow we'll be starting with the next theme of Indian economy. I hope that you have already got the handout of Indian economy. If you have not received it till now, you might receive it today evening. So that is all about the today, and tomorrow we are going to move it with certain components are heavy. For example, environment is the heaviest one, then economy, science and technology are heavy ones. Fine. So we need to pay more attention to these. Okay. So guys, that is all about it, and I hope that you have understood it. Okay. Any question if you have, you can ask. Okay. Chali. So we'll be winding up then. Okay, guys. So we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.